bracelets and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
More hotel chains are no longer offering free breakfast.
Driven by rising labor and food costs, several major chains are changing their morning menus. At many full-service Marriott properties, the trend is moving towards paid buffet models. The Holiday Inn brand has now a split identity. Full-service Holiday Inn hotels continue to charge for the hot breakfasts, while Holiday Inn Express provides a free hot breakfast service at more than 3,000 locations. And brands like Best Western continue to offer complimentary hot and cold buffets. But since so many of these hotels are individually franchised, you should always check with the hotel directly to see if you can still get that free breakfast. Peter Greenberg, CBS News.
The surge in oil prices has airfares taking off. Some fares have doubled. To save money, experts suggest you book early since oil prices may keep rising as the war with Iran goes on. Also, consider a refundable ticket. If fares drop, you can rebook for a lower fare. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Happy home improvement season from Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. Home equity loan rates are as low as 5.25%. For full terms and to see if you qualify, visit AllegiantFCU.org. Membership eligibility required. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA. For 50 years, Center for Victims has stood beside more than 1 million crime victims, providing supportive services and 24/7 crisis response across our community. Join them April 9th for their 50th anniversary gala, Lighting Candles in the Darkness, an inspiring evening of hope, healing, and resilience. Be the light. Schley Deck and Fence Company. Call today for an estimate on your rotten, rusted, paint chipping railings. Get your railings safe again by spring. Call 412-515-6575. Schley Deck and Fence. SchleyDeckCompany.com.
Details at KDKARadio.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds build through today with a cooler start to the weekend and a high of 46. The clouds remain in place for tonight with a low of 39, and still cloudy for tomorrow as it turns out windier and warmer with a high of 70, leading to a powerful cold front on Monday, bringing showers and a heavy thunderstorm with an early high of 63. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Rob Fracks on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Facing what could be a $30 million to $40 million deficit, Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor announced this week he will reopen the city's 2026 budget to address serious concerns with the accuracy of the budget. Despite projections that Pittsburgh would end 2025 with a small surplus, the city actually finished the year about $8.6 million in the hole. Pittsburgh's teetering financial situation isn't new, but the O'Connor administration said the reality is worse than we thought. Let me just say this. This is a very important local story. It is, because Pittsburgh affects all of us. As Pittsburgh goes, we go. And what we have to understand here, this is what you need people in public office to do. Make a bold commitment, speak the truth, and even if it isn't what you want to hear, it has to be said. Coming up on my program on St. Patrick's Day night at 8 o'clock, the person who has been really with this battle cry for the longest time is the city controller, Rachel Heisler. And we'll talk to her about this. And I believe because of her statement after statement after statement, finally people started to say, look, there must be something to this. If the person who is responsible to crunch the numbers daily realizes it, we need to do the deep dive. And because of a forward-thinking Corey O'Connor, That's exactly what we have had happen. And I think in the long run, everyone's going to be better for it. We have to definitely start thinking about creating new revenue streams in Pittsburgh. But I do know this, if you finally realize you have an issue, at least you can stop the bleeding when it comes to your financial books and start rewriting those books and adding as opposed to subtracting. You know, Pittsburgh has so many opportunities and so many incredible things, meds and eds, and we know all of that, and technology. Listen, Pittsburgh is a think tank when you think of all of the things and the creative minds that are here, and you think of academia and these incredible places of higher learning from Pitt, Duquesne, Carnegie Mellon, Robert Morris, maybe one of the best business schools in the country. You get these graduates to stay put, you get them to plug in, and the sky's the limit. But I love the fact youth be served right now with Corey O'Connor, Rachel Heisler, and many people in public office in this city who are in it for the long haul and love this city like all of us, we baby boomers who grew up when Grand Street was Wall Street. And there's no reason why future generations can't have that opportunity. I truly believe with the current leadership in the city, from the council to the mayor to others, including people like Rachel Heisler, the best is yet to come. And that is something that I'm happy to be a part of. Now, another story. Cuban president said this past week his government has held recent talks with the U.S., marking the first time the Caribbean country confirmed such speculation. He said talks were aimed at finding solutions through dialogue to bilateral differences between the two nations, international factors as well. And a lot of it has to do with all sorts of incredible things that are going on. And he did not elaborate on what those factors are, but he said no petroleum shipments have arrived on the island in the past 3 months, which he blamed on a U.S. energy blockade. Well, Mr. President of Cuba, have you thought that maybe because you were dealing with the president of Venezuela, that could be an issue? And you see, the war in Iran, it's happening for a reason. And I'm sure I'm going to get pushback this morning about what the president is doing and recently making the statement that they have hit strategically some of the biggest parts of the oil connection to Iran in recent days. And they are basically destroying everything that is the infrastructure that could do harm to anybody around the world. No Navy, no Air Force. They continue to take out building after building that is affecting what they were trying to do when they were told because of the airstrikes in the summer to stop, and that is develop a nuclear weapon. All of it ties together, from Venezuela to Cuba to Iran to the Middle East to stopping Hamas, and yes, hopefully finding a way to stop the war in Ukraine. It all comes down to one thing. You heard the Cuban president mention it. I just mentioned it because the president talked about it. And there's been big speculation because of the oil being restricted out of Iran that it could affect places around the world, including that war that is now underway in Ukraine, in which Vladimir Putin is not able to get oil to fund his war machine, if you will. It's going to come to an end. And I know right now people are concerned because of the price of a barrel of oil, at times going over 100, dipping back, and then going back up over 100. And I know we're all feeling it as far as across the board when it comes to the price at the pump. But this too shall pass, and better days will lie ahead. But you see, this pain that we're experiencing right now and may cost us a few more dollars that sometimes may not make sense to all of us, it's going to make it possible for us to never have to deal with this type of stuff again. Never, ever. And we're actually doing something for future generations to be able to say, I remember when President Trump got put back into office after being out 4 years, he went at it full throttle. And because of what he did in Iran, he changed the narrative to where now oil is available, a commodity for people worldwide, and it's a good deal for everyone involved. And people can afford it. There's an abundance of it. And no longer are we held hostage by the Iranian government. A lot of exciting things, but the big stories I alluded to, if you were following me on social media, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit, is this weather. So I got home late last night. I was actually doing a live blog out on McKnight Road for Coons Market. Put a lot of time in on some things on social media the last couple of days, and I get home and my back door starts like making a really sound that I hadn't heard before. It's like somebody was knocking on my back door. So I would check, and next thing you know, I noticed a few little things swirling around the yard. And then, I have no idea how we kept the power on the street that I lived. But these winds, tropical-like winds, because of some storm activity that has been a major story as far as weather in our country and down there in that place that is the southern part of our country and beyond. I don't think I've ever experienced consistent winds like we have had. 155,000 people, according to Duquesne Light, without power after 11:30. But it's always hit and miss, right? But I get up on 376, and I'm driving past the Aliquippa exit, moving forward towards Hopewell, and moving into Moon Township, and it was a blackout. I've never seen a streak of just nothing. Street lights, nothing. I get here at the station. They have no cable, so Comcast is down in many places as well. It's just been ferocious. So we're going to continue to follow it. AccuWeather, National Weather Service, if need be. Rob Taylor at the news desk, our colleagues at CBS Radio News, and we will keep you abreast of everything. But it has been a really ferocious night weather-wise. A lot of down power lines, a lot of trees are down, crews working hard to get everything restored. So just be patient, and I hope that all of you are safe wherever you are. As always, you can listen to us at 100.1 FM, AM 1020 KDKA on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. You can also watch us with our KDK video stream presented by Metropolitan Window Company. Just go to KDKRadio.com and click on Watch KDK Radio Livestream. Or now you can just go to our KDK Radio YouTube page and watch everything we're doing in the studio. Number to dial to be on the program, first 2 hours open talk today, 866-391-1020, or NASCO Roofing Instant Access to our shows a click away. Email us at instantAccessKDKRadio.com. And don't forget, we'll be at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center today, Home and Garden Show winding down, final 2 days from 9 a.m. until 1. Do you know someone in your community who's done something extraordinary in the past year? Nominate them at KDKRadio.com to be honored at this year's Larry's Hometown Heroes. We'll be back.
Your source for official traffic information. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
News Radio KDKA Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Pitt will retain men's college basketball coach Jeff Capel for the 9th season. That word coming yesterday from Athletic Director Alan Green. Atlantic 10 tournament, Duquesne lost to Virginia Commonwealth 71-66. Alex Williams led the Dukes with 21. Team USA defeated Team Canada yesterday 5-3 to move to a win away for a repeat performance in the WBC championship game, taking a significant lead early and holding on to get the win against their opposition from the north. Then Jostinson Garcia homered as the Pirates defeated Detroit Exhibition Baseball yesterday 7-5. It's Baltimore today. And through 2 rounds of the Players' Championship, Ludwig Oldberg is your leader at 12 under. He has a 2-shot lead. More sports at 93.7thefan.com.
Join Beth Andrews for the Net Worth Financial Hour Saturdays at 1 to get the news and information you need to make your retirement dream a reality. That's the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews, Saturdays at 1. Net Worth Advisors, LLC is a registered investment advisor.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Support St. Anthony school programs and help students with special needs achieve their full potential through inclusive education, therapy sessions, and job skills development. Serving students ages 5 through 21 with Down syndrome, autism, and other intellectual disabilities. Find St. Anthony school programs within select Catholic schools in the Pittsburgh area, including a post-secondary program at Duquesne University. For over 70 years, they have empowered students of all faiths to live independently and contribute meaningfully to society. Learn more or donate at stanthonykids.org.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey, 1 in 8 people, including 1 in 5 children in our region, are food insecure. Your donation today doesn't just help, it multiplies into meals for families right here in our community. Our Giant Eagle Feed the Need Radiothon is happening Tuesday, March 24th. But you can support your neighbors now at kdkaradio.com or by texting to 50155. So, has your family been impacted by food insecurity in the past? Call the Giant Eagle Feed the Need Radiothon voicemail line at 412-588-6858, 412-588-6858, and share how a local food bank has helped you or your family. Your message may be featured on the air. The real impact food banks have in our community. All right, one other thing I want to tell you. If you haven't been able to win your tickets to the night before featuring Jason Aldean yet, we've got you covered. Stop out at the Bowser Chevrolet in Monroeville, 3 to 4 p.m. on Wednesday, March 18th. Details at y108.com. That is going to be a spectacular night. All right, trying to cover a lot of ground here because we will be heading out very shortly in a couple of hours to the David L. Lawrence Convention Center, as we will be at the Home and Garden Show. But we're in open talk up until 7 o'clock, so if you have anything on your mind, get on the phone and give me a call and let me know what it's like out there. Do you have power? What about these winds? Did you get caught out in it last night? I mean, honestly, my door when I got up today was making the same banging noise that it was making last night. These winds have not let up. Usually you'll see these winds kind of come and go, but they have been consistent. And as I mentioned, 155,000 people as of 11:30 last night in this part of the country are without power, according to Duquesne Light. All right, here's Kenny in Lower Borough. Hey, Kenny, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rob. Hey, I wanted to talk a little bit about Pittsburgh. I did see on the news this week, and I know you're against taxing these nonprofits, but, you know, Pittsburgh doesn't have a choice at this point in time. And the way you're thinking, and I see why you don't want them taxed, is you've seen what happens with the industry in town when it starts getting another bill. Either through some type of a tax like the steel industry, how it went, and it crumbled up. But like I said, it looks like they're looking at like $100 million a year. These nonprofits we're going to have to pay. I think the top 5, and that is, like I said, I see what you were thinking about, and you know, basically a lot of these nonprofits are cash rich, and if they're a nonprofit, they shouldn't have reserves like what they have. But if you start losing one here, one there, I mean, Pittsburgh's on a population decline. That would just increase it a lot more faster, I guess, if you want to say it that way. Other than that, like I said, they're going to have to make a decision on what they want to do down there. They didn't allow Gainey to do it, but I think they're going to allow the Democrats are going to allow Corey to do it and get away with it because they owed so much in their pensions. And I think somebody was calling about contracts, which I just figured everybody knew about. But, yeah, that is a major problem down there. I mean, most cities don't have, like your red states, they don't have contracts like this. Even with your teachers' unions, it's just it's absurd. Some of these union contracts they have. I mean, you have some of the worst school districts in the state. Oh, actually, right next to me, and one of the worst. And, you know, it's terrible how they can continue to keep going on and not be punished for what they've done to these students. I mean, you're making tons and tons of money on these districts, and you're taxing the worst of the poorest of the poor, and you're not getting anything out of your education. So, like I said, they're gonna have to make a decision on that, one way or the other. And I was talking about the stocks. There's different levels of people that have stocks, and you have people that are retired that may have lost 30 or 40,000. I mean, then you have another level that people have lost 100, maybe 150, 200,000. Then you got the people that are losing millions. This is going to get worse for the next few weeks, if not months. This war is going to be protracted. It's just going to take a while. And I pray for the families that have lost soldiers. This might get a little worse. I don't see an end game here yet. At least unless he decides to sit there. We're going to have boots on the ground. It's an unfortunate situation. I don't see the uprising of the people over there yet. It may happen. It hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. If we can get arms to those people over there, we may have a chance of getting out of there. So we'll see how that works.
Well,
other than that,
listen, bottom line is they're going to have to do something because they need revenue. So I'm not saying I totally disagree with you, but I hope that they don't get lulled into a false sense of security and stop trying to develop manufacturing because now they have a new cash revenue stream. The only way we're coming back, it's not meds, it's not technology, it's not driverless cars. It's by factory workers and a mill gate at the end of some of these neighborhood communities. You got to get boots on the ground, shovels in the dirt. That's what's going to bring back this region, not meds, eds, and technology. It's just not big enough anymore. Why do you think some of these think tanks that were all in on technology are now drifting back to brick and mortar and hard hats and lunch pails? Because they know that's guaranteed money. That's what we're good at. And that's why the nation has been struggling for so long, because we got away from that and we relied too much on technology. Technology can only take you so far, and you can only make so much revenue about it. But unless you're building something and shipping it around the world, or especially within your own country, and money's exchanging hands, you're never going to climb out of debt. Never.
And you see it in your own communities, and I do too. I mean, I've complained, and it starts at it's boots on the ground, like what I do, and I tell everybody. I complained when gas was $2 a gallon. I mean, now you're looking at people that are complaining because it's $4. Well, the Democrats didn't complain when it was $4 and $5 and $6. You know, it's a bad situation. We need to generate money. I mean, in these communities, I mean, we don't have the manufacturing. When my grandparents came here, you know, they were an essential workforce coming into manufacturing. The people that came into this country in the past 10 years, we don't need them because we don't have the manufacturing to support our own. Our own people need to be doing these jobs. You are correct. I'm going to be shoveling mulch today for hours. I mean, how many people do you actually know in your community that are doing that at this point in time? I mean, it's just there's no more sense of work. I don't know where the ethic went, but you know, it's got to be brought back. Start getting these people out saying, you know, we got to go to work. You know, there's things that you have to do. It's called work. You have to do it. Sometimes it's terrible, but you got to do it. It's got to be done.
You're putting mulch down already?
Oh, yeah. It's, you know, it's not going to be, it'll be fine.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you something, how great minds think alike. So I'm looking out last night, and I have, you know, the security lights in the backyard, and I threw some grass seed down last fall, and you know, it kind of looks pretty good, and I'm starting to think how much longer before I can actually cut grass or throw mulch down. But you know, I'm thinking, well, I got to wait till at least the end of March. But people already want it done now, huh?
I've done, let's see, last week I think I did 4 yards, spring cleanups and you know, stuff like that. I actually cut a yard and got there was no leaves. I got 4 bags of grass out of it. I was surprised. It was a little high. I might have cut it high last fall, but yeah, the people that have fertilized, the fertilizer guys have been out for 3 weeks. So if that fertilizer kicks in on a warm day, and you got a thick yard, it's going to grow. So yeah, I'm starting to roll right now, actually.
All right. Well, listen, be safe out there, and too bad you're not close to my neck of the woods. I'd have you throw some mulch down at my house. I'll tell you what, I will admit I actually like cutting grass. I mean, I really do. I miss it. I don't have a big yard like I used to. I can cut it in 20, and I have a battery-powered lawnmower, which is, I mean, I got it off of Andy at EV True Value. I'd never exchange that for a gas-powered lawnmower. Do you do any of the battery stuff, or are you all gas-powered still?
For what I do, you can't use the battery stuff. It's just not. It's not.
Yeah,
you yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
charging
in
batteries.
my lifetime, it may never be. I'm cutting 80 yards. The batteries they're not
80,
they're not there
80
yet.
yards.
Yeah, I used to do 100. I'm getting old now.
I mean, 80 yards. I mean, how many people? You by yourself?
For the most part, yeah. If I need help, occasionally I call somebody, but not too often.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're my hero, brother. I mean, I have a tough enough time getting through my yard, but 80 yards, that's incredible. Hey, be good. All right, Robert and Plum, you're coming up. Anybody else? And look, if you want to talk about the Iran war, we can do it. It is a big story. I get it. President ramping it up. There is now the possibility of ground troops going in. Look, finish the deal. Unconditional surrender. We're in it now. Whether you believe in it or not, let's pray for our military and let's end this thing. And I really believe what President Trump is doing now This could change the course of everything. The tyranny against people in that part of the country, maybe there will be actual peace in the Middle East. And more importantly, maybe when it's all said and done and we begin to heal financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, everybody will be better. Listen, this is not a good government. These are evil people. And I don't care if you say he provoked it or not. They got to be taken care of. I mean, we've got to win this thing. And if we have a chance, and if what he's saying is legit, and I got to believe him, let's end it right now. 866-391-1020. More of your calls coming up shortly, and the latest on those winds that are swirling with AccuWeather moments away.
When you're handling an estate or an inherited home, the decisions can feel overwhelming. At Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, we help families through this every single week. We make a quick, fair cash offer on the home, coordinate any cleanouts, help you through the process, and we'll buy it in its current condition. No pressure, no surprises. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057 for help selling today. That's 412-500-9057 for help selling today.
Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's local trusted home buyer since 2015.
My friends at NASCO Roofing take pride in exceeding customer expectations. Stephanie from Murraysville used NASCO for minor roof repairs. When a storm created substantial roof damage, she called NASCO. NASCO worked with Stephanie's insurance company and installed a beautiful brand new roof. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Stephanie. Get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing, NASCO.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Retirement, it's almost here. Are you ready? Well, join Kurt Kanodik and Ethan Lane of Accurate Solutions Group for your retirement blueprint. Let Kurt and Ethan help you plan for your retirement dreams. Don't miss your retirement blueprint, Sundays at 10. Investment advisory services offered through ASG Investment Management, LLC.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
CBS News Brief. Cheryl Simmons of Columbus, Ohio, says her only child, Tyler, was one of the 6 crew members killed when their refueling plane crashed in Iraq.
We're done. No children.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine says 3 of the victims were with the Ohio Air National Guard. President Trump says the U.S. obliterated targets on Karg Island, Iran's main oil hub, though Iran claims no oil infrastructure was damaged. CBS's Eleanor Watson says the U.S. is sending more forces into the fight.
Officials tell us that up to 5,000 sailors and Marines as part of a Marine Expeditionary Unit and amphibious assault group are headed towards the Middle East.
U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro vows to appeal after a federal judge quashed grand jury subpoenas related to her criminal probe of Fed Chairman Jerome Powell.
An activist judge has taken that tool away from us.
Pirro is investigating cost overruns in the renovation of the Federal Reserve's headquarters. CBS News Brief. I'm Michael Wallace.
Did you know that the only cause of mesothelioma is exposure to asbestos? Did you know that many local area tradesmen were exposed to asbestos and didn't even know it? The sad reality is asbestos-related diseases are often fatal, yet entirely preventable. Pittsburgh-based Goldberg, Persky, and White understands the complexities of asbestos exposure and are dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve. GPW can't change the past, but we'll work to transform your future. Call 1-800-COMPLEX to learn more.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hot foot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Cooler conditions are in place, at least for the start of the weekend, with clouds building through the day and a high of 46. That leads to an overcast night tonight and a low of 39, with tomorrow looking cloudy as well, but windy and warmer with a high of 70, before showers and a heavy thunderstorm arrive for Monday after an early high of 63. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Okay, here we go. Let's push through the weekend, and we'll be back Monday. Colin Dunlap, can't wait to talk to you on Monday, 2 to 6 right here, KDK.
Now listen, I know a lot of you just don't understand hearing that report from CBS about more troops, more angles as far as our military headed to Iran. But you know what? We got to stomp on them while they're down. And Iran can say everything they want to say, how it's not been affected, this, that, whatever. But they're hurting. And honestly, we got to turn the lights out. Finish it right now. Even if it means putting boots on the ground, go in, be done, and let's get back to the business of saying no more issues with that nation. Watch how everything turns around. Once this is over, we're going to see business boom like never before. But no more people will be being killed for simply trying to ask for a better way of life. This will actually help the Iranian people. There is no room for that type of government in the world anymore. Just like there wasn't in Venezuela, that had to end. Cuba, their president is feeling it. The Colombia president is feeling it. The Mexico president is feeling it. And I'm telling you right now, the Ukraine, that war could be over within the next 2 months. I'm telling you, if this thing goes the way it is going in Iran, and don't think that they're not connecting all the dots, this thing could end the war in Ukraine. And right now, Putin is probably thinking, how do I get out of here with some self-respect? Because what's going to happen, not only is it going to hurt his war machine, but now you're going to be taking away some of the last things that the Russian people had to hang on to be able to feed their families. There will be a revolt in Russia, and he will be literally or figuratively, but more literally removed from office. This is such a, read 'em and weep type of thing. I mean, he puts the cards on the table here very soon, pulls all the chips in. This thing could be over, and it could change the course of history. If this guy doesn't do anything else but win this war, it could change the course of history for generations to come. 866-391-1020. Here's Robert in Plum on KDKA. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Rob. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. How are you?
My power went out last night. I had a down line. The police stopped here. They were, surprised. I was the only one who had power in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? I was prepared for anything. You know what I mean? I had my lanterns. I had everything situated. The house was all illuminated. And he knocked on me. He goes, this house actually has power on it. That's why I stopped. He said, the power lines are down. I said, I know. They said, I got to call So I called 911 to get the power lines there. Whenever you have down power lines, that's where you're supposed to call. Mm-hmm. The lady's like, oh, yeah, we had reports in your neighborhood about it. I said, okay, fine. So we stopped over. They saw it and everything like that. So they're still working on them. But the power came in. But about Pittsburgh, the whole thing you're talking about is capitalism. We need capitalism back here in Pittsburgh. We need people to go back out there and fix the technology that we have, because this technology is all breaking down. And it's only a matter of time before all this technology stops. And then what, Because I see it breaking down all the time. Cars, all these modern cars aren't going to last more than 10 years. And then what? Then what do you do with them? I mean, nobody's there to fix them. We need people there back to learning how to fix technology now. You know what I mean? Not do that. We need more entrepreneurs out there. We need more people out there saying, hey, I got to go back to the capitalist system. This system that we're working with here, I don't know what this is. And it's sad to say that if you try to go get a job downtown Pittsburgh, you have to make at least $50 an hour now. By the time you pay all the taxes and everything like that, I mean, the whole thing is the structure's all wrong. You know, if we can clear the structure up and get rid of some of this red tape, Pittsburgh has a chance. Other than that, I mean, running around on the system it has right now, no chance at all because of all the contracts and everything like that. I mean, parking down there is ridiculous, and food, forget it. I mean, those are the two big things you have going against you that they've weaponized against the people down there, and the people right now are leaving because they can't afford it. I mean, in my neighborhood, we have already 11 abandoned houses. The houses are there. There's just no people there because people just cannot do it.
Listen, everything that I'm talking about today, whether it's the war in Iran, what the mayor's doing with the budget and Rachel Heisler, I mean, everything that I am talking about, what's going on with the Cuban president, it affects us right here at home in Pittsburgh because we have lost our job base. Wait. We've lost our middle class. We've lost everything in this country for the last 50 years. And the only way you turn it around is start building and making things in this country again. It's the only way it's going to work.
Okay, what do you want to build, Rob? See, here's the thing. Everyone says, we got to start building. Okay, to start building anything, you need heavy equipment. You need heavy industrial things. You need people that can do this type of work. The people who can do this type of work are all my age.
You're right.
50 and older.
You're right.
The young people cannot operate. I would not give a young person, a high lift to go work on. I wouldn't give them a skid steer. I wouldn't give them anything like that. You have to have specially trained people that have been doing this for years, like even running a backhoe. Running a backhoe is a very dangerous job, Rob. I mean, they get $400 an hour. There's a reason for that because, you have to have all the safety features and all the measures and everything like that. We have a chance right now in Pittsburgh, if they were smart, that we could have all the pipes and plumbing in the ground replaced because they're all breaking now. All this stuff is broken down. And we have a chance. We could have rebuilt all this stuff for the kids. Instead, they towards them towards college and stuff like that. College is nice, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's an easy out, you know what I mean? But to get down there to be the hard skill, training people there, I wouldn't take the chance of training the young people today because they can't do the math. I mean, the math is the whole problem, Rob.
But we have listen, all the complaining in the world is not going to do any good. We have to start training now, getting them into the Carpenters Union, getting into these VOTEC situations. I know where you're coming from, but we can't just complain about it. We got to start changing the narrative.
Well, how do you change it?
In the classroom, in the curriculum, it's not that difficult. You start making more kids understand that the building trades may be a better alternative for them. It's about parents communicating with their kids, looking at what their skill sets are good at, and realizing unless you have a big bank account, the best avenue for anyone, if they have any kind of skill, go into the Carpenters Union, become a plumber, a boilermaker, a pipe fitter. That's what you do. It's about communicating with your kids.
Okay, that's a good thing. Have you ever attended a school board, Rob? Here's what they do. They push for college. Every school board out there pushes the kids for college. There's nobody out there pushing for the trades. The trades are gone. What they should have done is bring the trades back to the schools. That's how you fix this, Rob. Not go there and say, go to this. These kids have to start at 6th grade. You have to start them at 6th grade, teaching them about the trades. I don't know where you're going to get these. I don't know if any old people want to come back and teach kids about how to build things. Because none of the kids can build anything today. I mean, you're talking about entrepreneurs, people that are, visionaries who can go ahead and do things. That's what we need. It's not complaining, Rob. It's that if you ever go to a school board, what do they push? College. And it's a big racket. Because they make more money doing that than doing the trades. And that's the whole problem. I mean, go to a school board one time, Rob. You'll get an eye opener on that.
I've done it. I used to cover school boards. I know what's going on there, but I can't be a fatalist like you, buddy. I got to keep hoping for the best. I got to keep. And believe me, I'm around the Carpenters Union, and I see a lot of young people there, and they're getting good paying jobs, and they're getting benefits. And when we built the cracker plant, they emptied the union halls, and hopefully we'll have more of that with these data centers. So I just can't be a fatalist. I know where you're coming from, but I can't be a fatalist. Hey, good call. Always good hearing from you. 866-391-1020. Let me tell you, it's time for you to call in because we've got Open Talk only until 7 today. Nan Cohen will be here. Dorothy's Candies and More, getting ready for that Easter holiday. And then 8 o'clock, Secure Money Advisors, Brian Caranta and Company. I will be on the road making my way to the convention center where I will be from 9 a.m. until 1 today. And then, of course, I hope you'll stop down because it's today and tomorrow, and then it all wraps up. What an incredible couple of days it has been there. It's just a wonderful event. Over 1,000-plus exhibitors, great food, great venue, easy access. Going to be a mild day, even though it's going to be a little windy. No reason to not get out and come down to the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. Honestly, this is the greatest show on earth. What they have done there for decades, and obviously started by my friend John DeSantis, his son Mark now, and his son's also involved. You're not going to get anything better. And you've got some of the biggest names in the industry, and you've got them all together in that one place. You have a chance to actually go from one booth to the next, work a bid, get a deal. It's an amazing event. And I can't say enough about this great city. That's why I'm so passionate about trying to promote everything that the mayor's doing and people like Rachel Heisler, members of the council. I want Pittsburgh to succeed. When Pittsburgh is at its best, it's the best. And this home show is at its best, and they are the best. So if you're in the area, come on down. And by the way, you know what's happening today? The St. Patrick's Day Parade. I've been at work over the last who knows how many decades, and this is one of the greatest days in Pittsburgh. Actually, if you're watching the YouTube channel or the Metropolitan Window video screen right now, KDKRadio.com, KDK Watch, actually have a green shirt on today in observance of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Always a good time to be had by one and all. But I want to hear from you. There's a lot to talk about. 866-391-1020. We're going to take a real short break, come back, get more of your phone calls. And again, we're only in Open Talk until 7 today. So if you have anything on your mind, get on the line and join me now on KDKA. Good morning.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKA-radio.com. News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Pitt will retain men's college basketball coach Jeff Capel for the 9th season. That word coming yesterday from athletic director Alan Green. Atlantic 10 tournament, Duquesne lost to Virginia Commonwealth 71-66. Alex Williams led the Dukes with 21. Team USA defeated Team Canada yesterday 5-3 to move to a win away for a repeat performance in the WBC championship game, taking a significant lead early and holding on to get the win against their opposition from the north. And Jostinson Garcia homered as the Pirates defeated Detroit Exhibition Baseball yesterday 7-5. It's Baltimore today. And through 2 rounds of the Players' Championship, Ludwig Oldberg is your leader at 12 under. He has a 2-shot lead. More sports at 93.7thefan.com.
I'm talking with John Diagardi of Rome Monument about something he feels people should avoid. John, can you elaborate?
I sure can, Rob. When a loved one passes, their spouse and relatives are under stress. They feel pressure to get things taken care of quickly.
Is that not a good idea?
Not when it comes to the monument. Rob, when the funeral is over, when everyone goes home, the monument is the one thing that is permanent. 50, even 100 years from now, that monument will still be there. Families need to take time to make decisions about the best way to memorialize their loved one.
John, how can families avoid making a costly mistake?
People shouldn't make quick decisions under stress that they'll regret later. For over 80 years, Rome Monument has helped thousands of families create a lasting tribute to their loved ones. And when you're ready, Rome Monument will be there.
Great advice, John. Friends, visit one of Rome Monument's 9 showrooms or learn more at RomeMonuments.com.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Let's get to Bishop in Denora. He joins us on KDK. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you get through traffic safely. Trade schools is always good. And I wish my son, and me too, I mean, we had them back in the day as far as on campus, certain trades, but then they also would ship you out if you was specifically in plumbing and electrical and automotive. But I think it's good. I know a lot of schools push college, but they also push kids to stay in school on campus instead of trade schools. But a lot of these kids do have skills, Mr. Pratt, for a trade, not just all academics. But I think it's due to why schools probably push them to stay on campus is probably because of the money. I don't know what your take on it as far as, shared revenue. Do the school systems have to pay a certain amount of money to the trade schools? Did that come out of their budget? Have you heard anything about that?
No.
See, that might be the problem, because I think, in my opinion, you're right in some regards. I think 40% of the kids that's in public schools have the ability and have the talent to have a trade or to do a trade, from bakery to culinary. So that takes them off. Besides the automatic.
Let me backtrack. I want to make sure I got you straight. So you're saying what comes out of their budget now?
I wonder if their overall budget, per student, would they have to share some of that? Say it costs $25,000 to educate a student. Do they have to ship $12,000 or $15,000?
I don't know that. I don't know that, but I think if they go to a cyber school or something of that nature, yes. But I've never heard anything about the building trades. No.
Well, see, that's where some of the trade schools, as you well know, are closing because they don't have the necessary funding from state or government to be able to stay afloat. If they're not getting the money from the public schools that send their kids, because see how it works with trade schools, as you well know, the kids go there, public school half a day to get their basic education. Then they go off to trade school for the rest of the day. Or they just go to trade school. Some trade schools have it built in to where they offer them, they give them their core classes, and then they go into their trade. So I wonder where the money come in, and that's hopefully in the future somebody will talk about that. It's good talking to you. Happy
St. Patrick's Day. Close enough. I appreciate it. Here's Rick up next on KDK. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rob. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind today?
You're welcome. Well, I'm listening to people talking about the trades, and we don't have skilled people, and, money this and money that. First off, the trades fund themselves. Every working hour that we work, that's what funds our apprenticeship programs. It's not government-based. It's not tax-based. It's funded by ourselves. So first off, we have plenty of ambition within our own worlds to keep ourselves trained and put people out there to do the work. So that's number one. Number two is there's a whole lot of great trades programs going on. On Tuesday, I'm gonna help the city of Pittsburgh with their NOCTI test for the carpenters program. And the NOCTI test is a state test which is done to not certify but qualify a person for their training. So that's going on right now. That type of ambition is there. There's other programs out there today that I work up at the Hill District for people that are looking to get into the trades, and those people are then helped to understand what the trades are about and what they're getting into. So people that call and say that we don't have people, we don't know people, people don't know things, they're wrong because it's happening. So they need to get their head out of the sand, take a ride around, make some calls, and find out what's really going on today because they're saying things that aren't necessarily true. Another thing is we're building a bridge that's going to be pushed into place, which is a phenomenal exercise that's going on. Somebody knows how to do that. We just built a hospital with all of the bathroom pods made off-site and brought on-site and put into there, 650 of them. That was done by building trades people in this city. Okay, if you go through Oakland, there are buildings going up all over the place. They're talking about building the Esplanade on the north side. I mean, let's take a look at all the buildings that are here. And somebody built them, and somebody continually builds them. We just had power go out yesterday. Power is back on in many places because of skilled people that can go out there and put those power lines back up. So when people are sitting there saying that young people can't get it, hey, they might have a little different thought process than I did when I started in the trades back in 1977. But the case in point is they're still getting these things built. One way or another, they're getting built and people are using them. And when I hear people sitting there talking about the trades, first off, the trades are self-funded. That's the part that nobody ever gets. And the second part is these students are getting paid to learn. That's the next layer of this whole process. So when people are saying this and that and the other thing, and they're talking about the city of Pittsburgh schools and nobody knows how to do anything, they need to go in there and see what the trades are doing in there. The trades are doing a good job. There's nursing programs. There's all kind of programs going on within the CTEs within the city of Pittsburgh. So people need to start paying attention to what's going on instead of just getting on the air and blasting off about something they know nothing about. So I apologize for being a little bit ramped
well,
up.
that's why you heard me defending you all, because I totally agree with you all.
Thank you, Rob. And we appreciate that because people have to get it. They don't understand. Get online and get on to any union, plumbers, carpenters, steam fitters, pile driving, whatever, no matter what trade you want to get into, and see what the apprenticeship programs are about. And every one of them costs the tax dollar, not one dime. And every student can go there tax-free. And our doors, we continually take applications, and we're continually training people and putting them out there to work. So people that say that they're not out there, are they kidding themselves or what? These buildings are being built by somebody. Things are being maintained by somebody. What do they think? Somebody scoops down in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden there's a building.
Listen,
take a look at what goes on with the people walking through the streets with hard hats on and everything else to do what they have to do. And the operating engineers do a phenomenal job of getting people trained and putting them out to work. Our roads would not get built without them. So, and there's a huge job going to happen in Elkistan that I wish they would take pictures of and show people what's going to go on there. That is, in my industry and me in 45, 50 years that I've been involved, I would be amazed at watching that. And I'm going to be amazed at watching how they push a bridge in place and make a new bridge within a month. Let's just see all the people that figure out how to do that. So there's some pretty skilled people out there that are getting things accomplished around us. We just finished an airport, for crying out loud. I mean, so somebody did that. So at the end of the day, again, I'm ramped up, and I apologize, but I just had to defend us and defend our city. You know, we have a great city here, and we do a lot of great things. What do they think's going on with this draft? What do they take a look at all these different things that happen in Market Square, and it's happening at that little park that's getting built? That got built over the wintertime. So think about that. So now we had one of the worst winters in many, many years, but we still got these parks built to be ready for the draft. So somebody did that. That wasn't some fairies that came floating down out of space and all of a sudden put this park up. That was people that are in the building trades that built these buildings and built these areas to get ready for this draft. And at the end of the day, when people say things that they have no clue and they want to down everything, It's just that's why we're not getting somewhere, because we have so many people that want to down everything around us.
Well, that's why we got to keep pushing the trades, keep talking about it. You need to stop by. Others need to stop by. You know, you always have my ear. You always have airtime, and you'll always have my support, okay?
Thank you, Rob. Thanks a lot.
There he goes. Ricky, my friend, and I totally agree with everything. But you parents also, if you have a child who has some sort of ability to build and to make things, tell them. Take them on a tour. One thing about the Carpenters, their door is always open. And if you want a career that will last a lifetime and give you a good paycheck, health benefits, and a pension, and you'll actually create something that will last for generations, which I've been telling people for years, it's the building trades. It's the clear choice when it comes to our future. Stay with us. News coming up next.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Stephanie Johnson is a licensed clinical psychologist. I could see people being very cynical and skeptical on the last few elections, the state of the economy, and all these things.
And what I see a lot is this all or nothing thinking. And it's either all my belief or nothing. That's not true.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
No use denying it. Old Man Winter's been hard on our homes. If it's drafty windows, overflowing gutters, rotted trim, or that dreaded leaking roof, PJ Fitzpatrick can take care of your home repair project before it turns into costly structural damage. Don't keep putting it off. This is the best time to call the repair experts at PJ Fitzpatrick. No job too big or too small. They'll fix it right the first time. Visit trustpj.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 33 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Well, those high winds that our area experienced on Friday had as many as 275,000 customers in our region without power. Now, Duquesne Light reported up to 162,000 of its customers without power at some point Friday. West Penn Power said 138,000 of its customers were without power at its peak Friday. So what are the numbers right now? Duquesne Light says, as of right now, 118,000 customers still without power in Allegheny County, 13,000 of their customers without power in Beaver County. West Penn Power is reporting that 19,000 are still without power in Washington County, 17,000 without power in Westmoreland County at this hour, 13,000 without power in Butler County, 10,000 without power in Allegheny County. National Weather Service in Pittsburgh said wind gusts of 66 miles per hour were recorded on Friday at Allegheny County Airport and the Pittsburgh International Airport, and those winds caused a tree to fall on a home in Marshall Shaylin. No injuries were reported there. An Advanced Auto Parts sign fell into a vehicle in Brentwood. No one was injured. And a utility pole fell on a car in North Versailles with a man inside the vehicle. He was able to get out, but only after Duquesne Light shut the power off to that utility pole. That man was not injured. Oh, big crowds expected for the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Pittsburgh this morning. News Radio KDK's David Ballarado with more on how police are keeping it safe.
Police Chief Jason Lando says the Bureau is working behind the scenes to make the event safe with a higher concentration of officers planned for downtown, the South Side, and North Shore. He says intelligence analysts and detectives have found no specific threats for this parade.
But we also count on the community to be good partners. If you see something that doesn't feel right, if you see something that's suspicious, please say something, call 911, tell an officer that you see on one of the posts downtown, on the North Shore, on the South Side.
There will be QR codes as well to report minor problems, but
let's say someone puts down a suspicious package and walks away. That's a 911.
He won't say how many officers will be working the events. If there are any bad actors, that's information he doesn't want them to know. David Ballarado, News Radio KDKA.
KDKA Radio News Time coming up on 6:03. We have the AccuWeather forecast for your Saturday and for your parade coming up.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory.
One of our guiding principles is to provide great beds at a great value. Our goal is to prove this to our customers every single day. We believe in producing quality mattresses in our factory and selling them directly to you, eliminating the middleman markup. You can rest easy knowing that you're getting a hand-built mattress at a real value. Stop by a location near you. We're confident that you'll be able to see and feel the OMF difference for yourself. Learn more at originalmattress.com.
When you're at a restaurant, do you let someone who doesn't know you order your food? Why should it be any different when buying a mattress? At the Original Mattress Factory, we believe that choosing a mattress should be a personal experience. That's why our knowledgeable sales associates take the time to understand your needs and preferences to help you find the mattress that's right for you. With our wide range of different feels, you're sure to find one that fits your needs. So don't let someone else tell you what you want. Decide for yourself at the Original Mattress Factory.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds build through today with a cooler start to the weekend and a high of 46. The clouds remain in place for tonight with a low of 39, and still cloudy for tomorrow as it turns out windier and warmer with a high of 70, leading to a powerful cold front on Monday, bringing showers and a heavy thunderstorm with an early high of 63. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, so I was looking for the Wicked Witch of the West on a broom today, Rob. These winds, my goodness. It was like the Wizard of Oz and your little dog, too. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, I've never felt consistent winds like that from the time I got home last night from doing some social media stuff at Coons on McKnight Road, about 6, 7 o'clock. It's been nonstop. It kept me up throughout most of the night. I kept thinking somebody was at the door.
I know. I kept hearing, even at the Courier, on the south side, the winds were blowing like crazy, and I thought there were people at the door, and then you open the door, you got to hold on. I mean, you open the door, you got to hold on to the door just so you won't blow away. It was real winds, and out here in Green Tree, there's this huge tree that's out here in Foster Plaza.
It's down.
It's down.
I know.
Down goes that tree.
My buddy Carlos McClintock, who is going to join us, Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service tomorrow. This is ironic. So I'm texting him Friday morning trying to get the topic of what we're going to discuss. And he said, storm-related questions. He said, because this is the season. And little did I know, this may be probably one of the biggest storms that we've had affecting power lines and trees maybe over the last year. I mean, so this has been massive. And for people driving, be careful. A lot of trees down, branches down, power lines. You mentioned 165,000, 62, whatever. A lot of folks still without power. And what's ironic, once again, one side of the street, house has power, other side of the street doesn't. My power wasn't affected, but as soon as I got up on 376, which is the old Parkway West, it was just nothing but no lights at all as far as the eye could see. I mean, I went from the center exit to the Aliquippa exit, and it was crazy. I mean, no power at all.
Yeah, and I decided yesterday evening to take a trip to the Waterworks Giant Eagle just to get some food.
Yeah.
And I pull up, and it's about 8:30. Waterworks, pitch black.
Pitch black.
Now, Giant Eagle had like some emergency lights on in there and everything, but there were only a couple people in there, and from downtown where I was coming, I thought everything was okay. And I pull up, and the entire waterworks is just pitch black. It was a sight to see. I didn't realize, the extent of the power outages until I went out east last night.
And again, I got to stress to everyone, Carlos will be here tomorrow, Greater Pitt Tree Service. They're at the home show. We're going to be talking about this situation. So if you are dealing with issues and you need a professional, I can't recommend anybody anymore than Carlos or Greater Pitt Tree Service. You don't want to get out there and mess around and try to do it yourself. Very dangerous because you never know, there could be some power lines wrapped around those trees. But that big tree that they usually decorate every Christmas.
For Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have to find a new tree. But thank goodness nobody was here. It was off hours, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's been such a focal point of Christmas here at the Foster Plaza since we came here.
Yeah, when Greg Finley, our overnight producer, showed me the photo, because when I drove in, I didn't see it down because it was dark out here. He showed me the photo. I'm like, hey, that's the tree they used to decorate Christmas.
Speaking of Greg Finley, he told me something today with sheer respect from you, and it made me think. You told him that in all the years, and nobody knows radio more than you, every weekend I've been here, that you've listened to KDK radio. It's like every weekend since you were a kid, it's been me. And
I told him, I said, I've never known a weekend on KDK radio without Rob Pratt. Rain, snow, sleet, you're like the St. Patrick's Day parade. No matter what.
Well, and by the way, that's happening today too. But we're just old radio guys and gals. Those of us who kind of grew up in this business, and you're part of that generation, you got to get to work. I mean, I can't function unless my job's done.
And especially, in times of, crisis or weather-related things, and people even flock to the radio even more, and they want to hear the familiar talents. And, when you're in this business, you feel like you have an obligation. Hey, even if there's 10 inches of snow, 20 inches of snow on the ground, you're the person that people rely on to give them that information, and you get that adrenaline rush, and you make sure you either stay at the station or whatever it takes to be there.
I used to do that too. I told the story. I think I showered at KDKA TV for well over 10 consecutive years and slept in the green room. I mean, that's what I did because I was filling in for people and I was doing a lot on both sides. And, it's who we are. But one time, and I think I may have told you this, speaking of Christmas, I had to work one holiday and, complaining a little bit, and 3 o'clock in the morning calling your mom because you're coming from a football game in Ohio and you're exhausted, and, moms, they'll always listen to you. And I said, when am I going to get a holiday off? And she said something that was so poignant to me because she loved the radio. She said, you realize some of the people that listen to you, you're all the family they have. Mm-hmm. Families have come and gone, kids grow up, significant others pass away, or they've aged out and they're retired and they don't have their employees that extra family anymore around them. And that voice that comes through the radio speaker is like the only voice they have. So they're going to live their holiday waiting for you with their first cup of coffee on a Saturday morning or whatever day to kind of get them through the day. And I never thought about it that way. But then I think about growing up, and radio was the soundtrack to my life. KDK was on 24 hours a day, and growing up listening to Whammo and all the other stations. So that really struck a nerve with me. And I was probably maybe a little younger than you, but I never forgot that. So when I get a little down or I'm not feeling good, other than if I'm going to give somebody something contagious like the flu or something, you come to work. And even today with the weather, I mean, I heard it clanging and banging, and I looked out and I said, unless there's a tree on top of my car, I'll get to work,
Yeah, radio is that ultimate, one-on-one medium. A lot of people are listening, like you said, right in their homes, and they've got that little radio right there, or they're in their cars. And, when you were talking about just family and radio being that family, it reminds me of how, when I was obviously much, much younger, I still remember that the AAA show, the Talk and Travel that you have here Saturday mornings at 11. Yeah. And the iconic song that you guys play at the beginning of the hour, and True Value at 10 a.m. and the Sunday morning Coons Market show. Like these are like real shows that people have listened to for so many years. It's almost like if it's not there, you're like, what's going on?
Well, I'm telling you, people say, why are you still working? Because I could retire. I mean, I could have retired years ago. I actually finally, grew up like we all do, and I started putting money where it needed to go and quit buying 100 cheeseburgers for the TV crew and all that other good stuff. But I like these shows. I like the weekend. Look, I enjoy the week and all the other days and different shifts, and I've done them all. But I love the weekends. I love these shows. I love spending time with you. I like getting caught up about the Pittsburgh Courier, what's going on in the city. I love this city. Like today, I'm going to downtown. I sit in that convention center. I look across the Allegheny River, and I look at Pittsburgh. People out jogging and walking their dogs, riding their bike. There's something really special. But these weekend shows, I've always envisioned somebody at the kitchen table doing a crossword puzzle or something, listening to the True Value show or the cooking show or, the travel show and planning a trip maybe to Ireland because, this radio comes to life for me. And what people don't understand, you can have all the bells and whistles, technology, podcasting, social media, but when the weather is like it is and we have no cable and people are without power, that little battery-operated radio is what really people use to navigate. You can download certain things, but if the web's not working or your computer's down, if you're powered by one of these major brands, I still have a battery-operated radio at home because you just don't know. Radio is still the last line of defense, no matter what anybody says.
And what's happening right now, which I experienced even here because we have some backup generators, of course, to be on the radio. But if in our offices, there was no power. So, what I realized is, you're trying to use your laptop computer, you can't charge it. You may have a cell phone, but you can't charge it. So, yes, the radio, at the end of the day, you put a little battery in there, it's going to work.
But nobody, you really are my connection. As long as I know people like you are still here, then I'll be, when I have to saddle up and ride off into the sunset. And believe me, it's not going to be easy, and I'll be listening every day, but I know we're going to be in good hands. And we've got young management here and people that are going to take care of this place. This place is like my child. And when I came here as a kid in my 20s, I was working with some of the biggest names in the industry. I mean, you got to realize, I to this day, I don't know how I ever got hired here, but I've always thought of us being that one voice, that constant, that somebody just needs information. Like with the storms, they wake up today, and they see a tree down in their backyard. What's going on? I guarantee you, they're coming to KDKA, and we have an obligation. And I've always taken that obligation one step further on the weekends because we don't have as many people, but I still think we have to deliver as though we do.
Right. And as I always say, things happen on the weekend, and you got to make sure that you're on point and make sure you're delivering that information to the people. And as I was waking up this morning, even last night, I was making sure I knew that this morning would be, when they were talking about the outages last night and how it was up to 275,000, I said, definitely the crews will be out all night working, but there will still be outages Saturday morning. So we got to make sure we deliver that information. And we're going to stay up on top of it right now, all throughout the morning on how that's happening as far as the crews getting power back on to some of the neighborhoods.
All right, good stuff. Always nice to have Rob here at the anchor desk. He is a great journalist, and we love having him here. Also the editor of the new Pittsburgh Courier. All right, quick break. We're going to get back to the phones. We got Kathy. We got Joanne. Want to hear from you. We are in open talk until 7 o'clock, and then Nan Cohen will be here. And again, lots of people without power, lots of power lines, lots of trees. Again, Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service here tomorrow at 9. Don't try to do anything foolish. And we're going to be talking about storm-related questions with him as well. But all weekend long, we'll have you covered with KDKA. And, of course, this is a major story kind of affecting a lot of the East Coast. We'll have the latest as well, if need be, from CBS Radio News, latest AccuWeather, National Weather Service, everything you need right here at KDKA. We'll be back.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Pitt will retain men's college basketball coach Jeff Capel for the 9th season. That word coming yesterday from Athletic Director Alan Green. Atlantic 10 tournament, Duquesne lost to Virginia Commonwealth 71-66. Alex Williams led the Dukes with 21. Team USA defeated Team Canada yesterday 5-3 to move to a win away for a repeat performance in the WBC championship game. taking a significant lead early and holding on to get the win against their opposition from the north. Then Jostinson Garcia homered as the Pirates defeated Detroit Exhibition Baseball yesterday 7-5. It's Baltimore today. And through 2 rounds of the Players' Championship, Ludwig Ahlberg is your leader at 12 under. He has a 2-shot lead. More sports at 93.7thefan.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Larry Richard for CertaPro Painters. For more than a decade, I've been working with CertaPro Painters doing great work for me, and now is the time. Get a free estimate, get on the schedule at the right price. You never have to wonder what's next with CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
On Thursday, April 9th, join Center for Victims for our 50-year gala, Lighting Candles in the Darkness. It's an evening honoring hope, healing, and resilience. Reserve your ticket today. centerforvictims.org.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we are loaded, stacked, all 4 lines on hold. We're going to go in this order: Kathy, Joanne, Mike, and Rich. Kathy is first, been waiting the longest. She's on KDK. Good morning, Kath.
Good morning, Rob. I don't know how you'll feel about what I have to say, but I have to say it. We're talking about the city of Pittsburgh, and I'm very unhappy with our leadership. Corey O'Connor, I was concerned from the start because he aligns himself with the far left, and anyone that aligns himself with the far left that's in a position of authority usually goes for big government and government dependency rather than independence and freedom and the American dream. It's a pattern. It's what they do. Let me give you some examples. This past week, City Council voted to ban cooperation with ICE, and what that means is, for those of you who believe that people that are here illegally, but they're nice, they should be here, that's not true. They're breaking the law. They need to come back in legally. And that also means that if there are people here who are dangerous, now we are all at risk. So Very upset about that. Also, Summer Lee presented a check for $3 million. I believe it was to Sarah Innamorato. I don't know, for this affordable housing thing. Here's what affordable housing is. Affordable housing is enabling government dependency because you have to stay within a certain amount. You can't earn over this or you'll lose your, quote, affordable housing. Again, big government dependency. I don't agree with it. I think, and I find it ironic that people called in about the trades, because what I was going to say, having no idea that people were going to call in about that, is why don't you take that $3 million and find some men, and I mean men because we need men to start leading households, and invest that money in scholarship programs for men or women, okay, if you have a single mom, whatever, men or women that want to go to school and get their CDL or whatever. Take that $3 million instead of investing it in, quote, affordable housing to keep people government dependent. Take that $3 million and let people go to school so that they can afford to buy their own house, so that they can be independent and live what we call the American dream.
That's the whole idea, giving them an affordable paycheck, but it hasn't been done. So both parties need to figure it out. But $3 million is better than no money at all. And people need housing. And listen, we disrupted our city years ago, Kathy, and we're still trying to figure it out. Anyway, go ahead.
People need jobs. That's what they need. They don't need a handout. They need jobs. They need to get educated. They need to feel good about what they do every day and get up and go and work. And if there are people out there who just want to be government dependent, because there are, it should be as hard as it can to live like that. If that's just what you feel like doing, that's not okay. So, I don't agree. I think that $3 million should be invested in people getting educated so they can afford their own. Okay, my husband used to go downtown to night court when he was a police officer and things like that. Recently, he was driving his truck, and he took pictures down there. This is another thing, our new mayor. Already, he's been in quite long enough, in my opinion. You should see the front of that building. There's garbage everywhere. There's shoes. There's open containers of leftover food and drinks. And then right where you walk
in front of the courthouse?
I don't know what building it is, the night court building. I'm not sure what building it was. It has like all glass doors. But my husband was like, I used to go in there to night court. He said, I cannot believe what this looks like. There is no excuse for that.
But I don't know if you can blame this. Well, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and I'm going to give you a chance to finish. But he's only been in there. I mean, he's faced a snowstorm. He's dealing with the budget. I mean, he's only been in there for, 2 months, 3 months? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm just saying. These things need to be, it should never have gotten like this in the first place. How it did is just poor leadership over and over again. So that's what I have to say about the city of Pittsburgh right now. This banning cooperation with ICE is extremely concerning, and it should be to everybody. And it was funny because they said that one of the people was supposedly threatened who was going to vote to support banning ICE, so he didn't vote at all. But then they published the names of the people who voted to cooperate with ICE, which I thought was, okay, so now you're going to put them at risk. But anyway, I'm done.
I know I know you're frustrated, and I get it, and you're not the only one. But until we get back building things, and the building trades are the only thing we have going for us right now, dear God, we need these carpenters. We need these plumbers. We need these electricians. They are the ones that continue to have the paychecks that go back into communities. They are the ones that give young people a job, an affordable paycheck. They can buy a house. They can contribute to the community they live in. They can pay taxes to help the school district that their kids attend. But unless we start making things in America and creating jobs, like you said, Kathy, it will never get better in America. It'll only get worse. Jobs are the only way out. It's not meds and eds. It's not technology. It's hard hats, lunch pails, and hammer and tool belt. That's the only way it's going to work.
Well, what are we going to do with a mayor who, the scriptures say a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, and that just is true. He is aligned with the far left. He panders to them. He caters to them. How is he going to be both of those things? How is he going to be satisfying the far left and doing things that are supporting the building trades? How? Because he's how would he do it? How would he actually do that?
Well, he's going to have to he's going to have to figure it out, because Pittsburgh's counting on him, especially those graduates from the Pittsburgh public schools who are going to need a job. They're going to need a job.
Yeah,
and,
I hope.
And you're going to have to keep.
I don't know.
I know. I get it. But you're going to have to keep these kids in Pittsburgh, too. All right, Kathy, I appreciate it. Listen, you're just passionate, and I understand that. But I can't blame Corey O'Connor for some of these things. And listen, I'm such an advocate of the building trades, and I think just as though these men and women, these carpenters build new buildings every day, they're also contributing to our society every day and have for generations. Without them, none of this stuff is possible. There'll be 3,500 working at that data center in Indiana. Hundreds, thousands will be working at the data center in Shippingport. It never ends. They take care of hospitals. They work for the Diocese of Pittsburgh. They do so many things. They're incredible. But what they're doing, new, young carpenters, men and women, every day going into the streets and paying it forward with those paychecks. So these are the ways and the rules of the road that'll get us back on the straight and narrow. We have to stay the course. 866-391-1020. More good stuff moments away. KDKA.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on. You deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
Y108 presents Odyssey, The Night Before, powered by Bowser Chevrolet, starring Jason Aldean.
Hey, what's up, Pittsburgh? I'm Jason Aldean.
With special guests John Morgan and Shane Prophet. Wednesday, April 22nd, inside the Event Center at Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh.
So we have a little bit of fun. Y'all ready?
You can't buy a ticket to this show. You can only win your way in. Full details at y108.com. Presented by Miller Lite and brought to you by Giant Eagle, Pool City, True Green, and Broken Bow Records.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 33 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 6:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Those high winds that the area experienced on Friday had as many as 275,000 customers in our region without power. How does it look right now? Duquesne Light says there are 118,000 customers currently still without power. That's in Allegheny County. And out of those 118,000 customers, 77,000 are without power in the city of Pittsburgh at this moment. 13,000 without power in Beaver County for Duquesne Light. West Penn Power reporting right now 19,000 still without power in Washington County, 17,000 without power in Westmoreland, 13,000 without power in Butler County, 10,000 without power in Allegheny County. Once again, that's for West Penn Power. Those high winds caused a lot of trees to fall in our region. A tree fell on a home in Marshall-Shayland. There were no injuries reported in that case. There was an Advanced Auto Parts sign that fell onto a vehicle in Brentwood. No one was injured. Utility pole fell on a car in North Versailles with a man inside. He was able to get out only after Duquesne Light shut the power to the utility pole off. That man was not injured. Well, Pittsburgh, of course, preparing for the St. Patrick's Day parade this morning and the follow-up celebrations. Chief Jason Lando says those attending should be mindful of the no parking signs and the closed roadways. And as far as keeping it safe and concerns about international turmoil spoiling the event?
There are no specific threats to our area, but it's something that our intelligence analysts and our detectives are constantly monitoring behind the scenes. They're keeping us up to date out in the field in case there's something that we do have to be alerted to or something we have to be aware of or respond to.
Lando urges attendees to call 911 if you see anything suspicious. He won't elaborate on how many officers will be working the event, saying keeping it secret is part of their strategy. Well, prosecutors in Georgia have decided to drop the vehicular homicide charge against a teen driver involved in a prank that resulted in a high school teacher's accidental death. Here's WSB Radio's Bill Kayakio with the latest.
The Hall County DA calls it a tragedy, but says there's no evidence 18-year-old Jaden Wallace was speeding or driving erratically when he struck Jason Hughes. Wallace's attorney, Graham McKinnon, says the prosecutor considered the facts.
Everybody had a job to do in this case, and while there's some relief, our hearts still go out to Laura Hughes and the family.
And he says they're grateful for her forgiveness. As for his client's future,
Jaden's still grieving deeply, but he's determined eventually to live a life that would make Jason Hughes proud.
Bill Caiaccio for CBS News, Atlanta.
A teacher who knew the students were coming by to toilet paper his yard for the prank was struck by the car after he tripped and fell into the street. KDKA Radio News Time 6:33. We have the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Brian Schlaba here from the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, born and raised right here. Since 2015, we've helped over 1,000 Pittsburgh homeowners sell their houses quickly and without the stress. No repairs, cleanouts, inspections, or appraisals. We give fast and fair cash offers, buy your home as is, and you choose the closing day. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057. That's 412-500-9057.
Pittsburgh's local trusted homebuyer since 2015.
Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania is committed to the communities they serve, ensuring that all their customers stay safe and warm in their homes during the cold winter months. To ensure that no one goes without heat when the temperatures drop, Columbia Gas offers energy efficiency and bill payment assistance programs to make their customers' lives easier. To learn more about the valuable services available through Columbia Gas, call 1-888-460-4332 or visit online at columbiagaspa.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Cooler conditions are in place, at least for the start of the weekend, with clouds building through the day and a high of 46. That leads to an overcast night tonight and a low of 39, with tomorrow looking cloudy as well, but windy and warmer with a high of 70, before showers and a heavy thunderstorm arrive for Monday after an early high of 63. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Okay, here we go. Let's push through the weekend, and we'll be back Monday. Colin Dunlap, can't wait to talk to you on Monday, 2 to 6 right here, KDK.
All right, so Rob, before you go, just kind of get me caught up again as far as the outage and what they're saying at the power company. What are we looking at here?
Rob, we had just mentioned that 77,000 customers in the city of Pittsburgh for Duquesne Light are currently without power, 118,000 in Allegheny County total at this hour. Duquesne Light saying still without power. And then, of course, 13,000 without power in Beaver County when it comes to Duquesne Light. Then when you move to West Penn Power, they're reporting about 19,000 still without power in Washington County, 17,000 without power in Westmoreland County, 13,000 without power in Butler County, and 10,000 of West Penn Power customers without power in Allegheny County at this hour.
Yeah, and so because we turned the clocks back last week, it won't get daylight until after 7 o'clock. So people are going to be in the dark a little bit longer.
Yeah, and then, of course, the food and refrigerators and things of the sort. It's obviously the longer without power, you have to deal with that situation. So obviously the crews are out to working to get the power restored as fast as possible, but still we do have some considerable numbers of people without power at this moment.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned that Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service tomorrow at 9 o'clock, but as he's told me many times, and I'm telling all of you, don't go out there if this isn't something you do on a regular basis. Operate a chainsaw. you got some tree down in your yard or up against your house, you got power lines you're dealing with. If you're not a professional and you don't do it on a regular basis, I wouldn't even attempt it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's just trees down everywhere, and then you got to watch out for the power lines as well. So, yeah, leave that to the professionals.
Yeah, and I'm sure you got police at all levels patrolling out there, patrolling Pittsburgh Police, State Police, sheriff's departments, because sadly, people do some crazy things when the lights go out, and hopefully, people are safe. And if you don't really have anywhere to go for a couple of hours today, just sit until the lights come on or let's get the light out there, and you can maneuver easier. Because as I said, I was driving in on 376. And from the Monaca exit to the Hopewell exit, there were no lights on at all. I mean, there were a few street lights, but other than that, not much. And you'd be driving, and then there'd be half of a tree in the middle of the road. So you got to really take your time. And if you can see it when it's actually light and you can get out there, maneuver around it when it's safer, I'd wait till the sun comes up before I'd head out today, because there's a lot of stuff down right now.
Oh, yeah. And it's just kind of basically a wait and see situation. When it's always when you're in your house with the families, you're always wondering, when are the lights going to come on? When are the lights? Are they? So you don't really know, but you do know that the Duquesne Light Crews and West Penn Power Crews they're working as hard as possible to get everything restored. But even on the Duquesne Light website, they're telling people, due to some of the hazardous conditions of sometimes you think, why can't the power just come right back on? Well, you never know. You don't want to put the crew members in harm's way as well when they're attempting to get the power back on in your neighborhood.
Some of these transformers, some of these poles are in areas where there's a lot of debris on the ground. They can't get their lift trucks in there. So there's a lot of things that they're maneuvering right now. But when it comes to household stuff, and we've talked about this with Andy and company on the True Value Show. Hopefully you have a lot of batteries. You should always have this stuff. And yeah, furnaces might not be working. It's still, a little chilly out there. You're going to have blankets, all that other stuff. But one thing I've said for years doing this, whenever we have these power outages, don't go the candle route. I mean, a lot of people do that. I mean, especially at night, you fall asleep.
Yeah.
If you got a flashlight, just use that. And if you got to fall asleep in the dark, so be it. And just, go to bed and try to reserve some of the power for your phone if you're unable to, recharge your phone just in case you need it for emergency purposes. But always have a radio with a battery in it. That way you can at least know what's going on outside in the real world.
And, they sell these little lights now. You just tap them or press them in, and it's like a light. Kind of like a night light or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully people have those in their houses as well, in addition to the flashlights. But definitely no candles.
No, I know people that still do it, and I'm thinking, my goodness, that's just not the way to go. And if you have elderly members in your neighborhood or your family, and you have the ability to reach out, and you're younger and you want to maneuver and do what you need to do to take care of them or to take them some food or just to check on them, that's a good thing too.
Yeah, Rob, last night as I was actually coming here to the station, the Wendy's down the street, they had a sign, no power. McDonald's, no power.
That's
Burger
crazy.
King, no power. But I didn't realize that the entire neighborhood didn't have power. So I was looking at the Arby's line, and Arby's down the street, they had power. And it was about 40 cars in the line. And I'm wondering, okay. But until I got actually to the station did I realize that this neighborhood had no power. So people were in the Arby's line because at home, a couple streets down the road they didn't actually have power. And hey, even me, even I had to find a microwave somewhere that the 7-Eleven had a microwave. So I bought some food in there and said, hey, I'm going to have to use this microwave.
Listen.
Because ours doesn't work here at the station.
Listen, it's okay if I don't have power, but you start messing with McDonald's and Wendy's, now we got a problem. And you know why they're at Arby's? Because we've got the meat.
Yeah, we
have
the meats.
Hey, when I was a kid, and we didn't have them in our neighborhood until they finally came. That was like a West Coast thing. I'm old, man. I've been around a while. We got Dairy Queen, which was huge. But when we got an Arby's, we piled into that station wagon, and we got that roast beef sandwich. Man, I'll tell you what, it would have been like me trying to take the bowl away from my dog. It would have been ugly. But I just, those people, they had to have that Arby's, and they were probably so thankful that was open. We are such creatures of habit. I think about, George Washington came through here in 1753, did all the shebang, okay? Met Queen Aliquippa, all this stuff, this history stuff. You can see the signs everywhere. There were no lights. There was no civilization to know as far as main streets and houses. It was the wonderful Native Americans, and it was, just living off the land, okay? And you don't realize until you have a power outage and you, look around and it's pitch dark. And you think, that's kind of wild, but imagine being on a horse, maneuvering through the dark when we actually had mountain lions and big bears, and Native Americans who, saying we live here, what are you doing here? I mean, we have no idea how blessed. I mean, just to go to Arby's, I guarantee if George Washington could have went to an Arby's, he'd have been
on a Friday night.
He'd have pulled up on that horse and said, look, give me one of them roast beef sandwiches to go. What do you guys want? So I have such respect for people who came here before us. But, and I can still hear my dad saying, you guys complain, so what? The lights are out. They'll come back on. And we would say, the fans aren't running or something, because we didn't have whole house air conditioning. And even my kids, they're so spoiled. And now many homes have these generators that they don't lose power. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just the world is changing, but it's amazing how quick Mother Nature can bring us to our knees.
Yeah, and think about this. If you got how sometimes teenagers or kids, the family, you're in the home and they're upstairs, they're watching TV, they're on their phone. Well, power's out. Yeah. Now the whole family has to come together, and you're sitting around in the living room and actually get to have some quality time talking to each other. Because you can't watch TV, and let's catch up on family business.
I love talking to my children. I used to take them, honestly, to Eaton Park twice a week, and just to sit and listen to them talk amongst themselves. And I was talking to their mother last night just about some stuff, and I said, our children really love each other. And to me, that's great. And I envision someday the house that I've kind of restored, they'll all be in there at Christmas with their kids. Because family, you're so blessed to have your mom and dad, your wonderful mom and dad still. It's all you have. And sometimes things like this make families bond, because we live in such a world of technology.
Yeah.
It's sometimes, put the phone down and talk like you and I are talking, face to face. Actually get to know the people that you're with. And what we used to love when the power went out, my dad would actually hang out with us and he would talk. Because, my dad went to bed early because he had to get up early. So I've never forgot that. And whenever the power goes out, more times than not, I think about that kitchen table back in New Brighton with my 5 sisters. We had some of the best times of my life, man.
Yeah, and that's one thing, of course nobody wants their power out, but, I have noticed when the power does go out, the family members to kind of, converge into one room, and you just look at each other and you say, well, how was your day? The conversation starts, and you wouldn't have had that conversation if all the lights were on and everybody's TV was on.
Well, that's why it's so important, and we talk about it all the time on the Coons Cooking Hour. You got to eat dinner together.
Yeah.
If there's a way you can have dinner every night together, even on the weekends, a Sunday morning breakfast or something, you got to sit down and eat. And that's one of the things that I push so much for, because just the preparation of the meal, being in there with my mom when she was making the sauce and stuff, it's the gathering. It's what keeps you close. It's what creates memories. And it really is what makes you appreciate family.
Yeah, and there's families right now that have their battery-operated radio listening to us because, well, there's no TV and there's no this or that. Their chargers are out. And hopefully we're providing some just some good banter while the power is out.
It's funny, but you see people at the home show, and they'll say, I've been listening to you, and you're like, really? And then I said, where are you from? Who? And then I said, well, I'm from. They go, I know. Well, I know. And then you forget, but your life is basically unfolded from, I remember when Tyler was born, and it makes you realize that as maybe disconnected as we are and people that we never really meet, but because of the airwaves, we really are one big family.
I was asking Greg Finley, our overnight producer here last night, I was like, I know one person who probably has power, Rob Pratt in the home office in Beaver County. I said,
it's ironic. I did not lose power. I did so, but that's my biggest fear whenever we lose power, about the alarm. not going on.
Oh, see, I've got my battery clock, my little.
I need to get one of those. Yeah, and wind up.
Yeah, the wind.
I used to always have one, and I don't. But you know what? I need to go to a Dollar General and pick one of those up. That's a good idea, Rob. Always good catching up with you. No problem. All right, we want to kind of keep you company as the lights are out for many of you, but it will get better. Duquesne Light doing a great job as always. We'll come back, wrap up the hour, get ready for Nan Cohen, and then Secure Money Advisors with Brian and company. And I'm off to the Convention Center, MediConnect, the True Value Home Improvement Show, Andrew Benacki, AAA Central's Talking Travel, and Jessica Festa, the Optilux Wellness Center, all on location with me at the Convention Center in downtown Pittsburgh. Good morning.
We're only 40 days until the draft. Everything you need to know surrounding the draft is right here. It's brought to you by Bill Few Associates Wealth Management, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA. News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Pitt will retain men's college basketball coach Jeff Capel for the 9th season. That word coming yesterday from athletic director Alan Green. Atlantic 10 tournament, Duquesne lost to Virginia Commonwealth 71-66. Alex Williams led the Dukes with 21. Team USA defeated Team Canada yesterday 5-3 to move to a win away for a repeat performance in the WBC championship game, taking a significant lead early and holding on to get the win against their opposition from the north. Then Jostinson Garcia homered as the Pirates defeated Detroit Exhibition Baseball yesterday 7-5. It's Baltimore today. And through 2 rounds of the Players' Championship, Ludwig Oldberg is your leader at 12 under. He has a 2-shot lead. More sports at 93.7 The Fan.
The 10-Tenors are back and ready to celebrate their 30th anniversary world tour, coming to the Palace Theater Saturday, March 28th. Come and enjoy an unforgettable evening of pop, rock, and classical 10-tenor hits. Celebrating 30 years of the 10-Tenors, Saturday, March 28th. Get reserved seats now at thepalacetheater.org. Another Drusky Entertainment event.
Hey folks, it's Marty. NASCO Roofing, the region's roofing leader. Wow, they're good. They continue to exceed customer expectation. For instance, Charles from Bethel Park highly recommends NASCO. Charles was pleased with NASCO's exemplary customer service and the quality of their work. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Charles. Now's the time to get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO, NASCO.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Come on. No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up. I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid to now sell. Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Hi, this is Les Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management. I've been lucky in my life, and I'm grateful to the clients who've helped make our family-owned business a success. But like most of us, my beginnings were far from glamorous. My first job out of college was an assistant golf pro at Butler Country Club, earning $2.10 an hour. There was no work for me in golf in the winter, so to survive, I took a job at Armco Steel, working on a labor gang. Some nights I did janitorial work. Others, I labored in the rolling pits. I'd come home covered in soot to the tiny apartment my wife Barb and I shared with our newborn daughter Sarah. Now, 40 years later, Sarah and I are business partners at Botkin Family Wealth Management, along with my son Lester. I like to remember my beginnings and to share those stories with my children and grandchildren. At Botkin Family Wealth Management, we're interested in hearing your story, because understanding your beginnings is an important part of appreciating what it took to get where you are today. Visit us at Botkin BankFamilyWealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Hear about it. Then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, so Nan's coming up shortly, and Nan Cohen, and then we will have Brian Carranza, Secure Money Advisors. I will not be with them today because I'll be making my way to the convention center. Final weekend of the Home and Garden Show opens at 10. Hope to see you there. Big day, St. Patrick's Day. They've got all sorts of incredible things happening at the Home and Garden Show. So after the parade, come on in and spend a little time with us. Here's Joanne in Point Breeze. Joanne, good morning.
Good morning, Rob. You know what? 5:30.
Joanne, you got it.
Turn it off.
Please.
5:30 when those lights popped on, I just said, "Thank you, God, my Father," and thought about in the beginning when there was lights. So, and as far as radios, you can't find those battery radios anymore. I have one, and that's what I listened to all night until those lights came on. The other thing I do want to say, I would never not say, pay for the police. They're very, very important, even with the history. And if somebody remembers the history of the police, like 25 years ago, there's a lot of bad history with the police. So I get sick of people with their hate, and they keep talking about this nonsense and how wonderful. I had family members that were police, friends that were police, as long as I can remember. So I would not say pay the police, get as many as we can. We need law and order.
We really do, Joanne. Listen, I got a short break here. I got to get to the news. I'll be back at it tomorrow, so feel free to call back. I wish I could have given you more time, but I've got to get ready for that news at 7 because Nan Cohen, Total Talk, moments away. Rob will have the latest on what we've been talking about all morning, these tropical winds because of storm activity. Parts of the world, including this great coastline that is the East Coast of the United States, has caused thousands. Last report, over 160,000 people, according to Duquesne Light, still without power as just before midnight last night. They're working hard to get the power restored. We'll continue to follow that story. A lot of power lines, a lot of downed trees, so please be careful. And if you can stay indoors until things get up and running later today, when you have better visibility, that would be a good thing. And hopefully you'll have power resume very soon. Stay with us. News coming up next. Your Pratt Pack, KDKA.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Stephanie Johnson is a licensed clinical psychologist. I could see people being very cynical and skeptical on the last few elections, the state of the economy, and all these things.
And what I see a lot is this all or nothing thinking. And it's either all my belief or nothing. That's not true.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Want consistent color for every job? Milo's Pro Rewards members get a 20% paint discount on future purchases after paint annual qualifying spend reaches $3,000. Plus, order eligible in-stock paint and paint supplies by 2 p.m. for free same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Improving is easy at Lowe's. Excludes spray paint and mist tints. More exclusions, terms, and conditions apply. Subject to change. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Same-day delivery valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. Details at Lowe's.com/same-day delivery.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Keeping up with bills can be tough, but you don't have to do it alone. Duquesne Light Company's Customer Assistant Program helps income-qualified customers lower their monthly electric bills. The employees at Duquesne Light realize these are difficult times, and they're committed to supporting our communities. Applying is simple. Just visit DuquesneLight.com/CAP and apply online. Don't wait. See if you qualify today. At Duquesne Light Company, they are here to help when you need it most.
Serving Allegheny County for 50 years and supporting survivors of crime, Center for Victims invites you to its Lighting Candles in the Darkness Gala, Thursday, April 9th. It's an evening honoring hope, healing, and resilience. Visit centerforvictims.org.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 33 degrees in Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. The high winds our area experienced on Friday had as many as 275,000 customers in our region without power. Duquesne Light reported up to 162,000 of its customers had no power at some point Friday. West Penn Power said up to 138,000 of its customers were without power at its peak. Now, crews have been working around the clock to restore service, so here are the up-to-the-minute numbers. Right now, Duquesne Light says 117,000 customers are without power in Allegheny County, and that includes 76,000 customers without power in the city of Pittsburgh. 13,000 Duquesne Light customers without power right now in Beaver County. West Penn Power reports that 18,000 still without power in Washington County, 18,000 without power in Westmoreland County. There are 13,000 customers without power in Butler County, about 9,000 without power in Allegheny County for West Penn Power. National Weather Service in Pittsburgh said wind gusts were recorded Friday at Allegheny County Airport and Pittsburgh International at 66 miles per hour Friday. Those winds causing, among other things, a tree to fall on a home in Marshall Shaylin. No injuries reported. A utility pole fell on a car in North Versailles with a man inside. He was able to get out only after the power to the utility pole was shut off, and that man was not injured. Stay with News Radio KDK for more on the latest power outage numbers. Well, roads around downtown Pittsburgh are closing as we speak, as the city prepares for the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Parade begins at the Greyhound bus station area on Liberty and 11th at 10 o'clock this morning. It will proceed down Grant Street and then turn onto the Boulevard of the Allies, ending at Commonwealth Place. This year, there is also a St. Patrick's Day Dash. That's a 1-mile family fun run at 8 o'clock and a 5K race beginning at 8:25. Patrick J. Byrne is the Grand Marshal for the parade. Byrne has actually never missed a Pittsburgh St. Patrick's Day parade. Pittsburgh Police Chief Jason Lando saying the city is prepared for those big crowds expected across downtown and the South Side for the St. Patrick's Day celebrations. And the Chief Lando won't specify how many officers will be on the job for the parade and the festivities afterward.
I can tell you I'm going to be out walking the South Side with those officers tomorrow night because we know that's the area where we get some of the largest crowds. We will have plenty of visibility, plenty of officers out and about. We just prefer not to share numbers, just because if there is someone out there with some ill intent, we don't want them to know how many officers we have out there.
That was Lando speaking yesterday, speaking about the officers being out tonight in the South Side area. KDKA Radio News Time is 7:03. We have the AccuWeather forecast coming up next.
Good Nature Organic Lawn Care provides organic lawn, tree, and shrub care that actually makes sense. It's created for kids, pets, and your peace of mind. Because a great lawn shouldn't come with warning labels. No harsh chemicals, no second guessing. Just greener grass the natural way. Want to know why organic is the smarter choice for your yard and your family? Get the facts and services online at whygoodnature.com. Good Nature Organic Lawn Care. Good for your lawn. Better for everything living on it.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love sports, this is the show for you. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos. Weekday mornings 9 to noon Eastern on the free Odyssey app and YouTube at The Costos. Bringing you the biggest NFL news, guests, and notes from the offseason while getting you ready to win the madness of college hoops. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos. Live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM. Download the Odyssey app and listen from anywhere for sports talk from people who love sports.
At a time when children are in crisis, the Kids Mental Health Foundation envisions a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up, and support starts with all of us. At home, at school, at practice, everywhere kids are.
If you're at school having a bad day, you just don't want to do anything.
I just get these thoughts like, do better. All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed?
He's just in tears in the huddle. I was like, what's wrong? And he's just like, I'm just so frustrated, and I didn't know what to do.
None of my undergraduate studies talked about mental health.
Teachers need tons of help.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation is the leading organization promoting mental health for children in the U.S. and has free tools and information developed by experts.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow. Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds build through today with a cooler start to the weekend and a high of 46. The clouds remain in place for tonight with a low of 39, and still cloudy for tomorrow as it turns out windier and warmer with a high of 70, leading to a powerful cold front on Monday, bringing showers and a heavy thunderstorm with an early high of 63. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is an editorial by KDKA Radio Senior Vice President Market Manager Michael Spacciapoli.
Something extraordinary happened Thursday in Pittsburgh. A news conference was called to announce the O'Connor administration is reopening the 2026 budget, and with the City Council will make budget cuts to reduce red ink. Mayor Corey O'Connor told reporters the deficit could be as high as $30 to $40 million, and that's after a 20% property tax hike. What happened? The mayor said his predecessor's budget relied on inaccurate forecasts and false assumptions. City Controller Rachel Heisler previously warned of revenue shortfalls and predicted a deficit and was ignored. The mayor's bold budget decision is the latest of several that demonstrate he is engaged and proactive. His nominees to head up the police and public safety departments were made before O'Connor was sworn in. The mayor addressed criticism of the city's snow removal efforts, promised improvement, and later announced more than millions of dollars in donations to add new plow trucks to the city's fleet. A plan to streamline the permitting process was recently announced as well. Mayor O'Connor is addressing the most urgent issues the city is facing and has done it in just over 60 days. Getting back to reopening the budget to make needed cuts, when was the last time you heard a politician say, let's spend less?
This has been an editorial by KDKA Radio Senior Vice President Market Manager Michael Spacciapoli. To view a transcript, go to kdkaradio.com.
The following is paid for by Nan Cohen Total Talk. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Nan Cohen is back and ready for another edition of Nan Cohen Total Talk and Dorothy's Candies as the countdown to the holiday season is upon us. Nan, welcome back to KDKA.
haven't been gone that long.
It seems like forever.
Are you kidding me?
I miss you that much.
Oh.
Every second seems like a lifetime.
I know. But I'm going to be here down the chute. Looks like.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that.
Yeah, say that next week. I think I'm here next week.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, how you been?
I'm wonderful.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I wanted to just, before we kick off the show, Mar, I just wanted to thank everybody who I've heard from this week. It's been a rough ride, but I got all your cards, I got your texts, I got your phone calls. I'm navigating through them all, and I will be reaching out. But I'll tell you, you just can't, when you're surrounded with the best of the best and the love of the love, they carry you through. Even on my drive into the studio today, somebody was with me in the car. So,
good.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm happy for you.
Let's get on into what we're here for. That would be all about you, Marlene.
I cannot believe. Good morning, everybody. I cannot believe how fast the time is flying. You know, it seems like we were just celebrating the Christmas holiday, and here we are getting ready for Easter now.
And I just have to tell you that this is my traveling bunny. Yeah. I get one every year.
He's adorable.
I'll hold him up and show everybody. But he rides with me, and I actually seatbelt him in my car. I've had people come over and take pictures. He's my buddy for the Easter season. So, yeah, kudos to my traveling buddy. But what do you call him?
The bunny to go.
Bunny to go. Bunny on the go.
Bunny on the go. Bunny
puts
to
the
go.
miles on with me. Just as adorable. And he always has that nice little bow on. So that's my buddy for Easter.
Yeah.
So, and Mel loves seeing him in the car because when he was in the car, he'd be in the back. So
yeah, a lot of people
always
love that
seatbelt
one.
this bunny in. The traditions that you start with Dorothy's.
So the bunny was actually who rode in with you, is that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, the bunny's always in the car, but I wasn't talking to Bunny, and Bunny was not answering me. So just so you know, if I get that bad where I start talking and answering myself.
Did you leave this person in the car?
No, on my phone, silly.
Oh, okay.
On my phone.
She picked up somebody along the ride in.
when they know that I got the bunny in the car, for
there
sure.
There you go, right.
I will tell you that we always talk about Robert Gastel, the owner of Dorothy's Candies. He always hand selects the molds that he's going to use, and he did that again this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the opportunity to talk with him, and he said, I'm nostalgic this year. He said, I'm very nostalgic. He said, you know, he always picks the one that it was his mom's first bunny for him.
Absolutely.
And he rotates them every year. And it's funny because sometimes when you go in the back, and Marlene and I have caught this, when all those bunny molds are out, sometimes we think they're talking, right?
I know. We do a little gag thing sometimes at the end of the day.
But yeah, and it's funny because there's such a variety down there.
Oh, they're beautiful, aren't they? And they're the old time ones,
right?
The big metal ones, steel ones, whatever they are.
And he just said to me, he said, I'm just going to pick out what I feel like. I feel like I'm very nostalgic. So they're there. And I got to tell you, the molds are in the Swiss, the dark, and the white. Peanut butter.
And there's a few peanut butter, yes.
Yeah. You say a few, but there was more than I thought you were going to make a peanut butter. Not everybody actually understands it's peanut butter chocolate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
it's not peanut butter in it, but it's peanut butter chocolate.
Right.
So that's great. I want to tell you that I am going to be heading down there, hopefully be there between 12:30 at the store today. And I saw Robert had told me what I'm giving away, so I can't wait. Big meet and greet down there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward. Stop down, give me a hug, because I'm taking all the hugs I can get today.
Well, it is our extravaganza going on this weekend.
Right.
Today and tomorrow.
So, and they hit the doors running yesterday, I heard.
Oh, we were so busy yesterday.
Right.
Yes. It was fantastic.
So, yeah, that's going to be a fun time down there today, and we'll be snapping lots of pictures. And Marlene and I decided that we're actually going to do our bunny contest today live down there. And that always kicks off with, how do you eat your bunny?
Still the same way.
Maybe she'll change it up this year, because I've been all over the bunny because they always tease me, that's because, the faith. That's how you know how to eat it, and I know how to eat it a different way. So I don't know how I'll start my bunny today, but we'll get that video going when we're down there.
You're making your way around, top, bottom, what's left.
You might be surprised what I do today. So, yeah, we'll pick our bunnies when we get down there. Rob's itching for a break, so let's go do that. We'll be right back with Dorothy's Candies.
Stay with us.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Pitt will retain men's college basketball coach Jeff Capel for the 9th season. That word coming yesterday from athletic director Alan Green. Atlantic 10 tournament, Duquesne lost to Virginia Commonwealth 71-66. Alex Williams led the Dukes with 21. Team USA defeated Team Canada yesterday 5-3 to move to a win away for a repeat performance in the WBC championship game, taking a significant lead early and holding on to get the win against their opposition from the north. Then Jostinson Garcia homered as the Pirates defeated Detroit Exhibition Baseball yesterday 7-5. It's Baltimore today. And through 2 rounds of the Players' Championship, Ludwig Oldberg is your leader at 12 under. He has a 2-shot lead. More sports at 93.7thefan.com.
Is there constantly someone in the family fighting a cold? Fight back with Sniper, a hospital-grade disinfectant that kills viruses and bacteria, and it won't hurt your skin, your pets, or our environment. Hi, this is Larry Richard. Get Sniper. It's safe to use in your home and office. Simply spray and walk away to kill germs for maximum protection. Pick up a bottle of Sniper at your local True Value store or visit disinfectwithsniper.com. Get it now.
Join Rob Pratt every Sunday at 11 a.m. for Black and Gold Sunday, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer. Rob keeps you posted on Pittsburgh sports with 2 hours of exciting talk. That's Black and Gold Sunday, 11 to 1, presented each week by Coons Market.
Let's be honest. The hearing aid industry is broken. Overpriced clinics, pushy appointments, bills of $5,000 or more. That's the trap they hope you fall into. Don't let it happen. Audien Hearing is the escape. Their FDA-registered hearing aids cost just a fraction of the big brands, starting at only $98. Instead of paying as much as $5,000 plus all the doctor appointments and wasted time, you get what you need with no prescriptions, no office visits, no time wasted, and no crazy price tag. Call 800-700-HERE. That's HEAR. Audien's cutting-edge devices are rechargeable, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. Try them risk-free for 45 days with lifetime support and real human help just a phone call away. Over 1 million people have already said yes to Audien Hearing. Join them. Don't let them take advantage of you. Break free from the trap. Call now 800-700-HERE. That's HEAR for a very special offer. 800-700-HEAR or 800-700-4327.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Ah, yes, how sweet it is. Dorothy Candies, we're back on the air with Nan Cohen. Go.
Well, how about that? We're just figuring out you're going to be at the store again tomorrow.
Our big extravaganzas all weekend long.
Yeah.
10 to 5 today and 10 to 4 tomorrow.
You can eat and eat and eat and keep on eating.
No, work. And no eating there.
Well, so it's funny because I cut some new commercials for Dorothy's this year. And I was naming, I couldn't get all the flavors into one commercial. So we broke them up. But we're talking about all the different flavors. And I'm going to read them because everybody wants to know. Mm-hmm. When we talk about the famed egg, though, this was kind of his mom's thing that she came up with, and he carried on. Because you got to see this at the store. They are actually in baskets.
Yes.
And people will come over and they'll grab these little pieces of paper and they match their flavor to the color because everyone's a different color.
That's right.
And like they're serious about it. Like, don't get in their way. Like, Rob, don't bump into them. Like, they're just ready to go. Stay out of my zone when I'm picking my eggs.
You know where they're sitting in the store, right? I mean, we have them all on those shelves. I got to walk by all the time, go around, and there's always so many people there. It's always, excuse me, you know what I mean? They love it, and they're serious about looking at the list and picking out.
Yeah, and they line up right behind.
Do.
But yeah, so those are the famed eggs. And of course he has the 1 pound eggs and the half-pound eggs, and he's got the different flavors and all of those. But these are utterly incredible. And I had started early because that's the perk of being the voice of Dorothy's Candies, where I get to pick my Carmelos out.
Yeah.
And those that I love are always getting the extra Carmelos in their baskets. But the Carmelo is my favorite because it's got marshmallow caramel and it's just drenched in chocolate. And it is a little bit early, but I promise before we go, I will bite into one. And
they're delicious.
Mara and I really do our thing with the caramel and the marshmallow and that. So, but you're talking the flavors, which I'm going to read here shortly. Some of them go back 79 years.
That's what we were in.
79
Yes.
years. And everybody always asks if you make the fruit and nut.
Oh, yes.
In the little ones. And you
yes.
do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're very popular. We have a lot of those.
I can't believe you get all that stuff into that little egg.
You know,
well, they're not little. As if you caught the video or we were watching a stream, I threw them over to Rob because I grabbed him a couple coconut. They're heavy. They were extremely heavy.
You
and
know,
I think he said, "Watch that bad knuckle." So yeah, they're not so little, that's for sure. But the smaller version.
I wish people could see how these are made, and especially the fruit and nut in the small and the large. It's such a process to get that together, and they do such a wonderful job on it.
What people don't understand is each one is handmade.
Everything.
There's no two that are the same size, the same.
No.
Yeah, they're all the ingredients are the same. But yeah, I mean, there's those coconuts that I tossed to him. It had to be a half pound each on those. They were quarter pound. I mean, they were heavy.
Yes.
Yeah. So talk to me about the other stuff. The other fan favorites are in the store. I happen to see everybody's famous, the famous potato chip log.
Oh, the potato chip log is there. We now have potato chip pieces for inside the box. We have a 1 pound potato chip egg. Yeah, people are loving potato chip. We've also have the pretzel, not a pretzel log, but we have a pretzel 1 pound egg. Yes.
Yeah. That's, to me, it all started out with a peanut butter egg. When I was growing up, you'd always see peanut butter eggs for Easter. And the vast variety of flavors that you have.
Yes.
The fudge nut, the potato chip, the pretzel. The potato chip, people are always astounded when they see them with the potato chip on top and then the potato chip through the egg.
Right.
I mean, those have become fan favorites, and they've grown so much. And that goes to show you how he's grown the business since his mom started it.
Right. The potato chip is very popular, which is why we now do potato chip pieces.
Yeah.
That you could fill a box with.
Right.
So we have them. We have in all different areas.
And you have the bark. And I will tell you that the Carmelos were such a hit as they've grown in popularity. You can actually buy the boxes now.
They
can. Make Carmelo pieces
We've
all
had that,
year
yes,
round.
Right. A few years now.
Because it's just, I mean, I've been preaching about it. Just hits me right. But yeah, he's actually, you can get the famous Dorothy's box.
Yes.
The pink box with all Carmelo pieces in it. We talked about pretzels.
Yeah, lots of different varieties of pretzels.
I Googled this once because I do some homework every now and then before I hit the airwaves. But, I cannot believe what the variety of pretzels, peanut butter pretzels. They're actually pretzels drenched in your chocolate. With peanut butter.
Yes. Oh, they're delicious. Big sellers, too.
I mean, the white chocolate, the dark chocolate.
We have honey wheat pretzels.
It's unbelievable.
Pretzel rods.
Well, the variety,
right?
But the flavors and the styles that are offered, everybody comes in. They're grabbing all the Easter stuff, but they always got to tuck that pretzel pack away. For sure. And then when we talk about hours, can you give it for today?
Sure. Today will be 10 to 5, and tomorrow will be 10 to 4.
And I'm going to be there?
You're going to be here today, yes.
You're keeping me there till 5?
If you want to stay,
all right.
sure.
You realize next year,
as long as you want.
Next year is their 80th anniversary.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Well, she started it when Robert was born.
I know. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the amazing piece to that is he's never compromised.
So he just gave his age.
We always do. But he's
Doesn't
never
look
compromised. And that's what I think when I go down there. And today I'll hear this once again, that they want to talk. P.S., by the way, do you know how many people ask about you? Why is that? Why do they associate me with you?
I'm still trying to figure that out. Not because of you, but because of me.
Is that Rob? Is that you're always teasing each other and having so much fun, and they want to be here, and
he makes
they
it
ask
easy.
me tons of questions about you.
It's been a journey.
You make it easy, Rob.
It's been a journey.
Yes, it has. For all of us, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, climbing through the Kaufman's window.
But I won't be using my left hand anytime soon. That coconut egg, it hit my middle knuckle,
just
which
throw
is,
it.
and I mean, it was like a tuning fork.
Yeah.
I can feel it in my shoulder. So you're going to get your money's worth when you get one of these.
Is that, yeah. But it's solid coconut. That's what I mean. People don't understand. He doesn't, when he uses.
There's no chinsing.
Ever.
That's our word for the day, chinsing.
Chinsing.
All right, short break. Tell everybody what we're doing, Nan.
We're going to come back, and I am going to tackle the list for you and maybe just go ahead and eat that Carmelo for breakfast.
Back
there you go.
With more of Nan Cohen and Marlene. It's Dorothy's Candies hopping in for the Easter season this morning with your Pratt Pack on KDKA. Good morning.
Are you struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky hearing aid that makes you look old, you need to try Atom X by Audion Hearing. The Atom X is a life-changing breakthrough, precisely designed by top audio engineers, fits comfortably in your ear, is nearly invisible, and lets you adjust your sound so you can hear conversations clearly, at home, at dinner, or on the go. And right now, you can try the Atom X risk-free for 45 days. Call Audion Hearing now at 800-295-HEAR. That's HEAR for a 45-day risk-free home trial with free shipping and money-back guarantee. The Atom X is lightweight, rechargeable, practically invisible, and costs 90% less than prescription hearing aids. Don't miss out. Call 800-295-HEAR for complete details. That's 800-295-4327. Hearing for everyone. Audion Hearing.
Larry Richard for CertaPro Painters. I've been a customer for over a decade. Why? Because the professional work CertaPro Painters does protects your home, quality paint, worry-free process, free estimates. That's why I've relied on CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
If you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has already recovered millions. Get America's largest injury law firm fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's almost that time for us to feed the need with the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank on KDKA Radio. On March 24th, our Giant Eagle Feed the Need Radiothon will be raising money to provide meals for our neighbors in need. Text NEED to 50155 on our Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union text line, and your donation will provide meals locally. Brought to you in part by Rome Monument, Hampton Beer Outlet, and by MediConnect. Medicare made simple. Details at kdkaradio.com.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 32 degrees at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Many parts of our region feeling the effects of those high winds that blew through our area Friday. Duquesne Light reported up to 162,000 of its customers were without power at some point on Friday. West Penn Power said up to 138,000 of its customers were without power at its peak. Here are the latest numbers, the updated numbers as far as how many customers are without power in our region. Duquesne Light saying 116,000 customers are without power in Allegheny County. That includes 75,000 customers without power within the city of Pittsburgh. There's 13,000 customers without power in Beaver County for Duquesne Light. As for West Penn Power, at this updated hour, there are 18,000 or so still without power in Washington County, along with 18,000 without power in Westmoreland County, 13,000 without power in Butler County, and about 9,000 without power in Allegheny County for West Penn Power. Of course, those high winds causing trees to fall throughout the region. A tree fell on a home in Marshall-Shadeland on Friday afternoon. No injuries were reported there. An Advanced Auto Parts sign fell onto a vehicle in Brentwood. No one was injured. A utility pole fell on top of a car in North Versailles Friday afternoon. A man was inside the vehicle, able to get out after the power to the utility pole was shut off. He was not injured. Well, big crowds expected for the St. Patrick's Day Parade this morning, which kicks off at 10 o'clock downtown. Here's News Radio KDK's David Ballarado with more on how police are keeping it safe.
Police Chief Jason Lando says the Bureau is working behind the scenes to make the event safe with a higher concentration of officers planned for downtown, the South Side, and North Shore. He says intelligence analysts and detectives have found no specific threats for this parade.
But we also count on the community to be good partners. If you see something that doesn't feel right, if you see something that's suspicious, please say something, call 911, tell an officer that you see on one of the posts downtown, on the North Shore, on the South Side.
There will be QR codes as well to report minor problems, but
let's say someone puts down a suspicious package and walks away. That's a 911.
He won't say how many officers will be working the events. If there are any bad actors, that's information he doesn't want them to know. David Ballarado, News Radio KDKA.
We're learning more about the 6 people who were killed when a military refueling plane crashed during Operation Epic Fury. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine confirmed on social media that 3 of the service members were from Ohio. Cheryl Simmons, telling the CBS News affiliate in Columbus, said one of them was her only child, 28-year-old Tech Sergeant Tyler Simmons. She says they found out when Tyler's father opened the door and saw the uniformed military members there.
When he opened the door, he said, "Oh, no." And I jumped up and ran in there, and they were lined up out on the porch. And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me."
At least 13 members of the military have died since the military strikes in Iran began. KDKA Radio News Time 7:33. The AccuWeather forecast coming up.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Cooler conditions are in place at least for the start of the weekend, with clouds building through the day and a high of 46. That leads to an overcast night tonight and a low of 39, with tomorrow looking cloudy as well, but windy and warmer with a high of 70 before showers and a heavy thunderstorm arrive for Monday after an early high of 63. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Nanco and Total Talk.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, whenever Dorothy's is here this time of year and the smell, it reminds me of waking up on Easter Sunday as a kid. The only thing it's missing is my dad's cigarette smoke and the egg frying in the kitchen. But that smell of that candy, it takes you right back, man.
Well,
good memories.
The amazing thing is when I hit Dorothy's and you go through the back door and you can smell whatever they're making. And it's just like,
heaven.
I always say, I don't have to eat it. It just applies. I could just apply it to me because it's just so good. But there's times I've come in and I said, Mar, I haven't eaten all day. And she'll say, grab something peanut butter.
Right.
And there's your cheer squad behind you, the owner. Robert's like, that's his favorite. Peanut
Mine as
butter,
well.
anything.
Right.
And so, and I'm not a particularly big peanut butter fan, but down there I am for sure. So Rob and I were talking at the break, and we were talking, and so my exciting reveal is coming up, and it got a little delayed, and changing things up for the big debut, and life intercepts, but podcast is coming. It's coming along great, and it's funny because I've known Rob for so long that years ago he had a theory, and I could not understand it. I just couldn't. It would be hours on the phone. And Rob, you remember those conversations, and you were like, "You'll get it. It's there." And I called you, and I said I finally figured it out, and I'm going to explore the Rob Pratt theory, and with the assistance of somebody like Mel Robbins, because it's there, and he just was ahead of his time. He just didn't know it, and he just might be showing up on that podcast.
You're in.
You look at him smiling because he knows. he definitely, your intuition was spot on, and I guess that's why I've been associated with you all these years.
It's just I've been around a little bit longer than you, and I've seen some things, and it doesn't always end up that way, but it's the world is what it is. That's why you have to enjoy some Dorothy's candies and
all the time.
Put a smile on your face.
All the time. That's why you can get away with it trying to eat it before 8 a.m. in the morning, which I'm going to do. But we're reaching out, and I'm excited about it, and I got some big things ready to pop with that. So I'm going to stay focused there. But you always remember the people that teach you the lessons in life, and boy, Robbie and I. Don't we have them?
Learned a lot, huh?
Oh yeah, and it's always those that you can count on. So Rob, you're the best.
Well, thank you. I mean, same right back at you.
I'm going to get him to eat that coconut.
Put in a good word for me.
He loves the coconut.
Because you see, we watch Rob. We actually watched him doing a couple of his videos, and he sets himself up at his home studio, and he sets the chair up, and then he makes his entrance, and he sits down. And he's thinking, like, I know what you got going on. And I thought, I want a little bit of that just when I start a podcast. So you're gonna have to do that whole bit for me, and we're gonna deliver some stuff for you.
For people who spent 20 years in television like me, it's a great outlet, social media, because you get a chance to just continue to promote things that I can tie into KDKA, and it just gets that ebb and flow going. But I work really hard at that, man. That's turned into a full-time job.
People don't realize how much it takes out of you, and they think, "Oh, you're just rolling to a studio." No, it's the prep, it's the talk, and people don't understand. You need that time. Like last night, I was all over the iPad, in my bed, which I know, you shouldn't do that. But you've got to keep up with it.
You got to prepare,
and you just got to show up with the goods. And people don't understand it's a lot of work. And as if you watch Rob, he is there doing it. For Coons, he's always showing up. He's always on it. But
he's on everything. You're on top of everything, Rob. I wonder how you do that.
Well, it's funny because we get press releases, news releases. We're always watching the feeds and stuff, and we're always getting stuff. But you take it and you always try to bring it. And the greatest thing that you always do is your passion for what you know of and how he speaks of people.
This all is a talent for you guys. Not everybody can do that. Just come out and talk, and the whole thing of radio or microphones, you can't have that break period. You have to keep going.
That's what
you have to show give the interest to people, and you guys do that. I'm in awe at that.
That's why Bob's story is so fascinating to me, because I like telling stories like that, because that's who we are and where we came from.
Well, for me, I hear his story, but then I hear it when I'm out there because, people always know this time of year, my car's stocked. You guys stock and load me. I mean, I go. If somebody comes up and says, "Is your car loaded? Can I have something?" You're going to get it. And they know that. And I love it because I love the conversation that goes with it. And Rob does it in his way. I do it in my way. But, we all are out there. But when we have our alone time, like I was talking about the Rob Pratt theory, that's what you get with the experience of doing this kind of work. So, hey, okay, we got a little off track. But where can we get an hour's worth of talk about Dorothy's Candies? Because it's all about Dorothy's today.
There's so much down there. The store is just full of Easter things, our regular items. It's great. I love watching the people come in for the holidays. I'm out in the store more during this time period. And they're so excited, and they walk in and they see how cute it looks and how, there's the da-da-da, whatever it is they're looking for that they have is their tradition for their holiday. And they spend a lot of time in the store.
Oh, for sure. And we went to commercial break, and I thought about this. I said, you know what? When we come back, I'm going to reach out. If you're down there with me today,
I'm down
Marlene,
there.
We're going to invite you to have the bunny eating contest, and let's have it.
Oh,
let's
that's
have
a great
fun
idea.
with it while we're down there. We'll grab a couple people in the store, and we'll just go at it.
Yeah, it's always fun.
So, Rob, do you know what Marlene gives up for Lent? Listen to this. This is the greatest, right? Go ahead.
Well, I've been doing this since I was a teenager, and that is a long time ago. I just give up the sweets. I give up sweets because I love sweets, and it's a hard thing to give up, and that's my penance. So
she makes me eat she always eats with me, and people say, do you eat all of this? And actually,
no.
And actually, I can show you, because yesterday's peanut butter, or maple, was still in that bag. Yeah. I cannot eat the whole thing.
I get it.
She makes me do it all. She says, there's the Jewish girl. Get her to eat it all. And
I do it for our job.
She cuts out for me, 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
It's 40 days.
Wow, it's a long time.
Trust me, it is. I'm halfway through.
Making me eat all this.
I crave it. And then it's just me, okay? What I've done basically all my life since a teenager, it just makes me feel good because it's something I really want, and I'm giving it up.
So Bob and she had this discussion years ago, and so it's been Nan and people, like I said, I don't eat the whole thing, but I have to eat for you. So you've been doing more of the talking, and I'm doing the and I'm eating it. But she does. The one thing she does do is the bunny contest.
Yeah.
And we're eating the bunny. So that's. Yeah. And she says, well, it's really she justifies. She says, it's really for Bob for work. Robert gets it. So.
Well, it is. It's still my job, but that's the only time. And I feel guilty doing it.
She does.
But I do it.
But she does, because we have so much fun doing it.
It's my
and it's the one
up.
thing, and I said, I think he forgives you for that, because watching Nan try to eat all those eggs and flavors that I don't eat because she does.
And you enjoy it very much when you're eating these eggs. And it's hard because this stuff is so darn good. It's really hard to give it up. So
they always want to know, what do I do with what I don't eat? Because people thought that I was eating all of this. And I'm like, no, and actually in the bag with these eggs, because that's my bag, the other half of the 3/4 of the maple is in there.
Yeah, but you'll still eat it. You'll consume it. It's just in how much time.
Yeah, so we're going to come back. It's Dorothy'sCandies.com is always on. Get your orders, because she's busy in the shipping department, that I know. Yes. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I am going to tell you all the flavors that's in there.
Wonderful.
And I'm going to eat this.
Back with more in just a moment.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company, larger than light, and brought to you by Butler Transit Authority. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA. News Radio KDKA. Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods, with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Pitt will retain men's college basketball coach Jeff Capel for the 9th season. That word coming yesterday from athletic director Alan Green. Atlantic 10 tournament, Duquesne lost to Virginia Commonwealth 71-66. Alex Williams led the Dukes with 21. Team USA defeated Team Canada yesterday 5-3 to move to a win away for a repeat performance in the WBC championship game, taking a significant lead early and holding on to get the win against their opposition from the north. Then Jostinson Garcia homered as the Pirates defeated Detroit Exhibition Baseball yesterday 7-5. It's Baltimore today. And through 2 rounds of the Players' Championship, Ludwig Oldberg is your leader at 12 under. He has a 2-shot lead. More sports at 93.7 The Fan.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX Road in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I'd put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Good Nature Organic Lawn Care provides organic lawn, tree, and shrub care that actually makes sense. It's created for kids, pets, and your peace of mind. Because a great lawn shouldn't come with warning labels. No harsh chemicals, no second guessing. Just greener grass the natural way. Want to know why organic is the smarter choice for your yard and your family? Get the facts and services online at whygoodnature.com. Good Nature Organic Lawn Care. Good for your lawn. Better for everything living on it.
When you're handling an estate or an inherited home, the decisions can feel overwhelming. At Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, we help families through this every single week. We make a quick, fair cash offer on the home, coordinate any cleanouts, help you through the process, and we'll buy it in its current condition. No pressure, no surprises. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057 for help selling today. That's 412-500-9057 for help selling today.
Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's local trusted home buyer since 2015.
Hey, I'm Sam.
And I'm Calvin.
With Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks. You ever wait way too long for a haircut and finally get one and think, why didn't I do that months ago?
Oh yeah, suddenly you're walking taller, smiling bigger, and feeling like a new person.
That's exactly what it feels like when you finally replace that old roof or deck. You don't realize how bad it looked or how much better it could be until it's done.
And when it is, your whole house feels fresh again.
Give your home that clean-cut confidence with a new deck, roof, or siding project.
Call the Cousins.
Call the Cousins.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, Nan Cohen, final segment, Dorothy's Candies, and it's time now for you to swallow that candy and talk.
I broke into it. I had to do it. Okay, we're talking about Dorothy's Candies' famed eggs. Here we go. Let's get this right, Mar. Make sure I do it right. We've got the Almond Coconut Royale. We've got Buttercream, Carmelo, Cherry Cream, Coconut Royale, Fruit and Nut, Fudge Cream, Fudge Nut, Jody Lee, the Mallow, Maple Cream, Maple Nut, Orange Cream, Pop Prince, Peanut Butter, Pecan Mallow. I'm sorry, Marlene would say Pecan Mallow, Raspberry Cream, Strawberry Cream, Tin Roof, Vanilla Nut. And they are also available in assorted dark flavors.
Yes.
So that was the Swiss. That's their Swiss version, but they're also available. I can't wait to see you down there. I already broke into this Carmelo. And I know my girlfriend Ron is probably watching this saying, oh, Nan, don't get rid of that other half of that. So I'm 2 bites in, but I got to tell you, it's one bite and you'll know that that's from Dorothy's Candies. Excited to be down there today. I can't wait to, but Robert's going to be waltzing around the building. So
yes.
Grab him and say hello and make sure you ask him which molds he picked for this year. I did notice the famous Scotty dog was back.
Yes, yeah, we have those.
The Scotty was back, the little ducks, the little hens, the chicks.
Little monkeys, all kinds of things.
They're all there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to meet everybody down there today.
Mm-hmm.
You're off.
They look forward to you being there. They know.
And it's 10% off.
It's 10% off today, and it's 15 $1 shipping per address, and we do that online as well.
That's good. Well, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I don't know how to get through all of this, but this is the best.
Easy.
This
Come
is
on.
the best breakfast ever. Rob told us we're back here next week with you.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, you'll be here half of the show, and somebody will be with me because we got some divorce stuff.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about. But I look forward to this time of year. I can't wait to hear the stories. I can't wait to hear when you tell me the story, and I'm looking at your families there and the generations that are there. Hey. It's all about you today, Mar. And thank you for all you do, because it's tough being a small business. It's tough. Rob and I talk about it. That's the fabric of our Pittsburgh. Our loyalties lie with all these small businesses, and we really can't make it without you. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, we all do a great job down there for everybody.
Shipping, I want to tell you, they can get their orders out. What's the last day you're shipping for Easter?
Easter is April 5th on Sunday, so it's going to be probably we'll ship, but the guarantee through the post office, I believe, will take it to Tuesday before. That's normally what they do on these holidays. I mean, we'll ship any day you want.
And I got to tell you, I always say this with Dorothy's, everything is handmade. And if there's the things you want, put the order in. They'll have it ready. You can see the wall. People come in, their orders are prepared.
Right.
Because just when you come in and you want that, listen, I've seen it. Mara and I, we've been in there. They're not grabbing one egg. They're grabbing multiple eggs.
Right.
And so if you're thinking you know what you want to preserve it for yourself, make sure you call.
You can call and give a future ship date. You don't have to wait until the day you want it to go out.
Or for pickup.
Or for pickup.
I'm looking forward to the meet and greet down there today. Enjoy the 10% off. All hugs will be given and taken. We're going to have fun with the bunny contest. I'm going to be giving it away. And we're also going to be doing some social media posts. So keep your eyes on that, because we got some great things coming.
Yeah, come on down. There's some in-store gifts as well with purchases at a certain level.
And we'll be back around with you next week, Robbie.
At noon. So listen, we love you.
I love you more.
Keep up the great work, both of you. And remember how sweet it is with these candies. All right, I am going to be scooting out of here at 8 o'clock. Rob's going to give you the news, the latest on all the damage from the high winds that continue to plague this region. And then it'll be Brian Caranta and his team, Secure Money Advisors on the Money. And then on the other side of the news at 9, I will reappear at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. Final weekend of the Pittsburgh Home and Garden Show. Big day downtown, the St. Patrick's Day Parade. So if you're headed downtown, stop by the Home and Garden Show. Would love to meet and greet. Have a great day, everybody.
The proceeding was paid for by Namco and Total Talk. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Stephanie Johnson is a licensed clinical psychologist. I could see people being very cynical and skeptical in the last few elections, the state of the economy, and all these things.
And what I see a lot is this all or nothing thinking. And it's either all my belief or nothing. That's not true.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 20% and get financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
When sinusitis has your nose constantly blocked, life can feel smaller.
You're stuck breathing through your mouth, which leads to sleep struggles, snoring that keeps your whole family up, fatigue, and more. The mornings start groggy, the days drag on, and it feels like nothing really helps for long. At Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, relief isn't just one size fits all. Their specialists use a wide range of innovative in-office treatments designed around you, designed to open your sinuses, restore natural breathing, and help you finally sleep through the night. You don't have to keep pushing through. If you're tired of the congestion, the pressure, and the endless cycle of sprays and pills that aren't providing relief, discover a treatment option that works for you at Pittsburgh Sinus Centers. Breathe easier, sleep better, and start feeling like yourself again. Schedule a consultation today. Call Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, 878-231-6036. 878-231-6036. That's 878-231-6036.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
In the darkest moments, survivors search for even the smallest light. On Thursday, April 9th, be part of something powerful. Join Center for Victims for an evening of hope, courage, and resilience, lighting candles in the darkness. Reserve your seat today, centerforvictims.org.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 32 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Well, many parts of our region feeling the effects of those high winds that blew through our area on Friday. Let's get the up-to-the-minute numbers here. Duquesne Light saying right now 103,000 of its customers are without power in Allegheny County. That includes about 75,000 customers without power inside the city of Pittsburgh, 13,000 without power in Beaver County. West Penn Power is reporting that there's 16,000 without power now in Washington County, 18,000 without power in Westmoreland County. Still about 13,000 without power in Butler County, 9,000 without power in Allegheny County. National Weather Service of Pittsburgh said wind gusts of 66 miles per hour were recorded Friday at the Allegheny County Airport and Pittsburgh International. Well, roads around downtown Pittsburgh have closed as the city prepares for its annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Parade beginning around the Greyhound bus station, Liberty and 11th at 10 o'clock this morning, proceeding down Grant Street and then turning right onto the Boulevard of the Allies, ending at Commonwealth Place. Now, this year, there's also a St. Patrick's Day Dash. That's a 1-mile family fun run at 8 o'clock, just a few minutes from now, and a 5K race, which begins at 8:25 this morning. Patrick J. Byrne has been named the Grand Marshal for the parade. Byrne has never missed a Pittsburgh St. Patrick's Day parade. Well, prosecutors in Georgia have decided to drop the vehicular homicide charge against a teen driver involved in a prank that resulted in a high school teacher's accidental death. Here's WSB Radio's Bill Kayakio with the latest.
The Hall County DA calls it a tragedy, but says there's no evidence 18-year-old Jaden Wallace was speeding or driving erratically when he struck Jason Hughes. Wallace's attorney, Graham McKinnon, says the prosecutor considered the facts.
Everybody had a job to do in this case, and while there's some relief, our hearts still go out to Laura Hughes and the family.
And he says they're grateful for her forgiveness as for his client's future.
Jaden's still grieving deeply, but he's determined eventually to live a life that would make Jason Hughes proud.
Bill Kayaccio for CBS News, Atlanta.
KDKA Radio News Time is 8:02. We have the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Hi, this is elder law attorney Carl Zachariah with the elder law firm of Zachariah Brown. Every day I get a call from somebody because they have a loved one in the nursing home. They lost their house, they lost all their money, and they are in trouble, and that's when they call. Why do they call us? Because we can help. The better call to make, though, is to call ahead of time. As soon as you have a loved one going into a nursing facility, call us immediately, and we'll help take care of you. Zachariah Brown, 724-942-6200 or PittsburghElderLaw.com.
Support St. Anthony school programs and help students with special needs achieve their full potential through inclusive education, therapy sessions, and job skills development. Serving students ages 5 through 21 with Down syndrome, autism, and other intellectual disabilities. Find St. Anthony school programs within select Catholic schools in the Pittsburgh area, including a post-secondary program at Duquesne University. For over 70 years, they have empowered students of all faiths to live independently and contribute meaningfully to society. Learn more or donate at StAnthonyKids.org.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Think back to the last time you were in nature. What comes to mind? Hiking through a lush forest, floating on a lazy river, or perhaps watching a vibrant sunset on a beach full of glistening plastic bottles and food wrappers. Unfortunately, this isn't a joke. Here in the U.S., we generate the most plastic waste in the world, with 70% of it ending up in landfills. And by the time you're done listening to this ad, more than a dump truck's worth of plastic will have made it into the ocean. Plastic has become a useful part of our everyday lives, but it's polluting the air, water, and soil that all life needs to survive. This is a human problem that can be solved with human action. But it's going to take all of us, from individuals to businesses to governments and everyone in between. Help create a cleaner future for both people and nature. Visit wwf.earth/plastics.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds build through today with a cooler start to the weekend and a high of 46. The clouds remain in place for tonight with a low of 39, and still cloudy for tomorrow as it turns out windier and warmer with a high of 70, leading to a powerful cold front on Monday, bringing showers and a heavy thunderstorm with an early high of 63. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Secure Money Advisors. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Good morning. It's Brian Quaranta with On the Money with Secure Money, and in studio with me is Neil Major. Rob Pratt is still out, so we're going to attack this show here together today. And we've got a great show put together. A lot of retirement questions that have come up over the last year, whether it be at our educational events or people that have emailed us from the radio show or the television show. So we're going to dive into some of that stuff today. And remember, if you have questions about your particular retirement situation, you can call 412-286-1470. Again, 412-286-1470. Luke is answering the calls today, and he can get you a copy of my book, absolutely free, Right Track Your Retirement, which is a great roadmap if you really want to understand how to put together a retirement plan that's going to give you peace of mind and security. Or you can go to righttrackpittsburgh.com. Again, righttrackpittsburgh.com. So, Neil, over the last year, we've probably received hundreds of different questions. Again, whether it be educational events, the radio, the television show, or just even people asking questions in office. So I thought today we would do a very thoughtful show on these retirement questions. And, you know, I first want to kind of set the stage by talking about maybe what the biggest misunderstanding people have about retirement planning today is. And before we get into that, you know, I personally think that one of the biggest misconceptions people have about retirement that it's primarily about investing, and you know, it's not. The biggest mistakes I see people make over and over again is in the areas of income, taxes, investments, healthcare planning, and estate planning. Those 5 things are what you need to have a great plan. And most people think that if they pick the right stocks or mutual funds or ETFs and earn a good average return, everything will work out. But retirement is actually much more complex than that. And we see it every day in the conference room because nobody's situation is different, or everybody's situation is so different based on the amount of money they have saved, whether they're single, widowed, or divorced, whether they have children, grandchildren, what they want to do in retirement, whether they want to stay in Pittsburgh, move out of Pittsburgh, travel. Everybody's got different things that they want to do, and it creates a different financial engineering problem. And retirement planning is really more about creating a reliable income stream that's going to last the rest of your life while managing your taxes and your healthcare costs and your market risk and your longevity. And the reason so many retirees feel uncertain is because they've spent their entire lives accumulating money, but very, very little time learning how to distribute that money properly. And if we're talking about basic fundamentals, Neil, you know, we always talk about accumulation versus distribution, 2 very, very different things. The majority of the big box firms focus on the accumulation phase. But we at Secure Money Advisors, our clients are 55 and older, and we focus primarily on distribution. And so we want to show people how to make that money work for the rest of their life. And that's a very, very different conversation. It requires a lot of different strategies, not just investments.
Yeah, it sounds like coordination is important, right? As you go into retirement, right. It's not just about the investments; it's about the overall structure and strategy of the plan. And if you fail to do that, at some point, it's going to catch up to you, right? It might be at age 73 when you're at required minimum distribution. It might be at tax time when all of a sudden you get a surprise. You know, you also talked about income, Brian, and how we focus on building the income strategy and making sure that people are really, really comfortable. I had an interesting case this week with some folks that came in. He's retired, and they have really, really good savings. He has a $2,500 a month pension from his employer. Yep. He has a $2,500 a month Social Security check. And she owns her own business, and she still works. And, you know, what he's telling me in the conference room is that he really wants to be able to spend more time with her to do some things that they want to do. They want to travel and things like that. But guess what? She's not comfortable retiring because they have no income strategy. And she feels that if she shuts her business down,
she loses the income.
Yep. We'll get a fraction from Social Security of the income that she makes, and doesn't feel like he'll be willing to withdraw money from a nice amount of assets that they have. So guess what? She'll just continue to work until they actually develop an income strategy. And I feel like we see that time and time and time again.
I mean, if you really think about it, it's what I write about in the book, Right Track Your Retirement. I mean, that's having no plan, and that's uncertainty right there. And it's typical for most business owners to not be able to mentally make that shift of how do I take this income that I've been making from my business and then how do I replace it so I don't need to be the business anymore and I can actually have the same amount of income coming in or more. Or in the husband's case, she's saying that he might be afraid to withdraw money. And that just tells me that there's no plan in place. And that's why people panic when the markets go down, you know.
I was telling you before we walked in here that I talked to a guy, he had worked at a big box firm.
Mm-hmm.
And what he had said is anytime the market goes down 1% on any given day,
mm-hmm.
their phones ring off the hook. So this firm that he worked at is kind of more of a do-it-yourself kind of place.
Sounds like Vanguard.
It might be Vanguard.
Actually, I know because I know the conversation you had with the guy.
Yes, it was Vanguard.
Yeah.
And
by the way, there's nothing wrong with Vanguard. Vanguard's got a great, lineup.
Great platform.
Great platform.
For sure.
But I think what we're really referring to is the psychology behind this.
Psychology, absolutely. Yeah. So the market goes down 1%, people panic, and they're calling in, which simply means, to your point, there's no strategy in place of, we know the market goes up and down.
Yeah.
I love the Microsoft story.
Yeah.
Right? The Microsoft story says that in 2000, you could buy a share of Microsoft for $55.
Yep.
16 years later, in 2016, guess what you could buy a share of Microsoft stock for?
$55?
$55, right? $55. So you're telling me in 16 years...
Didn't move. Right.
But if you look up the historical rate of return since their IPO in 86, 26% average rate of return per year.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But for those people that retired in the late 90s, 2000s, that Microsoft was part of their strategy, didn't grow for them. So the sequence, the timing was not favorable.
Especially if they were taking money out. You got no growth, right? You're taking money out, and now you're just, depending on what other assets they might have had at that point in time, this is where you see people slowly start to dwindle those assets away. And this is why we believe in the protection of money so much. I mean, at our firm, we won't even take on the liability of bringing somebody on that wants to fully stay in the market because I know what the end result's going to be. I saw it for the first 8 years of my career when I worked at the big box firms, recommending stocks and mutual funds, and what you were taught was really what I call, and I write about it in the book, cookie cutter phrases to manage emotions. Don't worry about it. Hang in there. You're in it for the long haul. Everything's going to be okay. It's the war. It's the oil. It's the gas. It's the housing market. It's the Federal Reserve not wanting to lower interest rates. Everything you could possibly imagine, every talking point you could possibly imagine was given to us to manage emotions. And I thought it was so fake. I still think it's very fake because, if you look at, the education of most investment advisors that are working for the big box firms, they're not economists. I mean, how the heck do they know, right? Mm-hmm. So anybody that says, well, first off, they'll tell you when you're first onboarding with them that they don't have a crystal ball. Right. But then when things start going bad, they let you know that everything's going to be all right. We're going to come back with another segment here in a little bit. But just remember, Luke's standing by. If you got questions about your retirement planning, call 412-286-1470. Again, 412-286-1470. You can schedule a complimentary retirement session. Nothing is sold during that time. It's truly, we're there to help improve your situation. If you're already doing the right things, we'll shake hands and part as friends. Or remember, you can go to righttrackpittsburgh.com and get a copy of my book absolutely free. We'll send it to you in a gold envelope. And yes, it is free. I pay for the book, the shipping, the handling, everything. We'll be right back with another segment of On the Money with Secure Money.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania is committed to the communities they serve, ensuring that all their customers stay safe and warm in their homes during the cold winter months. To ensure that no one goes without heat when the temperatures drop, Columbia Gas offers energy efficiency and bill payment assistance programs to make their customers' lives easier. To learn more about the valuable services available through Columbia Gas, call 1-888-460-4332 or visit online at columbiagaspa.com.
As veterans, we've dealt with noise. From chains clanking as they're clamped onto cargo, to orders coming down the chain of command. We can handle that kind of noise. Back home, the noise is different. Seems like everyone's talking all at once and over each other because they just want to be heard. They're taking selfies and oversharing. But we know that it's not about hearing. It's about listening. Listening to what's actually happening with our fellow veterans. Understanding each other because we share the same experiences, the same vocabulary, following the same paths that others have walked. If only we can pick up the trail. Make the Connection is a place for veterans to hear stories from other veterans. Listen and learn about why you're not alone at maketheconnection.net.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Now that I'm retired, I'm worried about making ends meet. Food, medicine, and rent cost more every day. And that's why I used benefitscheckup.org. It connected me to an extra $1,000 a month. Benefitscheckup.org is a free service from the National Council on Aging. In a few clicks, older adults like me can see if they might qualify for money-saving programs. If you're on a fixed income, benefitscheckup.org might help you too. For free, visit today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Good morning and welcome back to On the Money with Secure Money. I'm your host, Brian Quaranta, and in studio with me is Neil Major. Rob Pratt is still out at the home show, so we are here hosting On the Money together today. And today we're talking about probably the most thoughtful questions we've gotten over the years. And
these are good.
Some of them are pretty basic, but I don't think they're basic to most people. But we've been talking about kind of the psychology behind money in the first episode, and I kind of want to continue on with that, and then I want to get into some basic questions that people ask, like what's a backdoor Roth IRA, or what's the difference between a traditional IRA or SEP IRA. But remember, if you have questions about your particular situation, you can call 412-286-1470. We've got people answering live today to answer your questions. You can schedule a complimentary retirement session. Nothing is sold during those. They're truly there just to help you and see if there's ways that you can improve what you're doing. If you can't, one of our favorite things to do is shake hands and tell you to keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a great job. Or you can go to righttrackpittsburgh.com and get a copy of my book. So, Neil, let me just start off with asking, and we see this at so many different asset levels, right? I mean, it could be someone that has $500,000, $1 million, $2.5 million, $3 million, $5 million, $10 million. Why do you think so many people feel financially insecure even when they have significant savings?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's fascinating, though, how many people reach retirement, have really, really good net worth, but they feel uneasy. And it's simple, Brian. I mean, savings alone doesn't create confidence.
Very true.
What creates confidence is actually clarity, right? Predictability, certainty. You also have to understand, too, as we're taught at a very, very young age, it's to be a saver. Right. I remember as a kid, Grandma and Grandpa would write me a check for my birthday at 10 years old, and Mom and Dad would pluck it out of my hands and say, "Hey, we're putting this in your bank account, and we're going to save it for a rainy day." And so that impression to me was to save, save, save.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you get to 65 years old, you retire, and you shift from an accumulator to a distributor. And it's a real mind trick.
Yeah. See, I've been saving for 65 years, and now I have to actually start using my savings.
Yeah, and it's like, wait a minute, is the rainy day here? Like, am I dying? Why should I be using this money?
Right, because nobody wants to do it.
Nobody wants to do it, and that's why the clarity is so important. a lot of times we'll get questions about Social Security.
And I think when you say clarity, and when we say clarity, what we're really talking about is a well-designed, well-engineered strategy.
Well, listen, Brian, I'm very analytical in the way that I do things.
You are. I agree with you.
And I like certainty.
Yes,
right?
you do.
And a lot of people like certainty.
Yes.
And in particular, I think we work really, really well with folks that are engineers and accountants and those types of people. That
I think they just want our Excel spreadsheets.
Possibly.
Because we don't believe in the BS, softwares that are out there like eMoney and Retire Up and all that crap that's out there, giving people these, 50-page reports that are meaningless with bar charts and graphs. And
I just had someone come in yesterday, $6 million.
Yeah.
And that's why they were in the office. They said, we have no clarity of our situation.
But they got a big report, right?
We got a big report. These Monte Carlo scenarios have been run.
Yeah.
And based on when we retire, there is between an 80 to a 97% chance of success.
And they got $6 million.
And they got $6 million.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I just don't understand. I need some clarity and some confidence to be able to retire when we want to retire.
Yeah.
And so it's the certainty that we want to build in to the strategy that gives people the confidence to maintain their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to retire and live off of a Social Security check and not do the bucket list of things that you had promised you would do when you retire.
Yeah.
And you got to build income from your investments, and you want to be predictable because you don't want to run out of money at age 80, 85 years old.
Well, let's talk about this because, there are a lot of different opinions on how to generate income in retirement. The oldest strategy that's out there is dividend-paying stocks.
Mm-hmm.
But if most people would just pull out their statements and they would look on the front page of their statement, they would see how much income their investments are producing.
Correct.
And when you look at it, it's very small for most people.
Enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And dividends just aren't what they used to be anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure people totally even understand the strategy, right? I mean, and that's kind of the hard part with all the noise, right? Your brother's going to tell you one way, your coworker's going to tell you one way.
Yep.
Your sister's going to tell you one way to go about it.
Our guy has us doing dividends. We're perfect.
Yeah, I mean, right after here, I'm going to meet with my accountant.
Right.
Right. And how I chose this accountant, it was a referral of someone whose situation is exactly like mine.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
If I took a situation that has a very simple type of W-2 income, that might not be the right accountant for me.
That's right.
Right. So you think about that. Everyone's situation is so different and there's so much noise. Oh, dude, dividend paying stocks. Yeah, that might work if you're a really high net worth.
Right.
And you can take the risk with that. Now, you have to understand what.
But maybe only 30% of your portfolio is generating income from dividends. You might also have real estate investments in there if you're high net worth.
Right.
But you can't really be a one-trick pony when it comes to building income. You got to have multiple streams and different ways to generate it.
For sure. I totally agree. A lot of people don't understand the dividend strategy. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's say you had $1 million, average dividend of 4%.
Yep.
So every year you're getting $40,000 in dividends.
Right.
All right. Now, I ask people the question, what happens if market volatility makes your portfolio go down to $800,000? Are you still getting the $40,000 of dividend? The answer is yes.
Yep.
Most people say no.
Right.
My question to people, though, is what if some home repairs need done in a given year and you need $40,000 additional on top of the 40 that you take regularly for income?
Yep.
And the portfolio is down to $800,000.
Yeah.
Well, now you're going to have to sell off some of the portfolio at a loss, which means you've sold off shares, which means the following year you're not getting $40,000 of dividend income anymore.
There you go.
And that's why
because your dividend is based on the number of shares you have, not the price of the stock itself. Let me say that again. The dividend is based off the number of shares, not the price of the stock itself. So if in this case you're selling off and you got less shares, your next year's income check to you is not going to be $40,000. I remember meeting with an advisor This is going back probably 10 years ago. He had developed a software, so I wanted to take a look at it. And he had switched his whole practice over to dividend-paying stocks, right? And so he literally those dividend-paying stocks. I mean, the dividends were great. I think they were like 5 to 6%.
Yep.
But his portfolio literally got hammered by 50%.
Yep.
Like his family was, his clients were down 50%. So folks, listen, if you want questions about your particular situation, call 412-286-1470. We got people standing by live right now to take your call. You can ask any question you want. We can try to help you out. You can also schedule a complimentary retirement session. It's absolutely complimentary, and nothing is sold during those meetings. If we can find out that we can do better for you, we'll let you know. If you're already doing great, we'll shake your hand and tell you to keep doing what you're doing. But don't forget, you can go to righttrackpittsburgh.com and get a copy of my book absolutely free. And yes, it is free. We send it to you in a gold envelope. You will absolutely love the read. It'll give you the clarity, the peace of mind, and the roadmap you need to do what Neil and I are talking about. We'll be right back with another segment of On the Money with Secure Money when we come right back.
Larry Richard for CertaPro Painters. For more than a decade, I've been working with CertaPro Painters doing great work for me, and now is the time. Get a free estimate, get on the schedule at the right price. You never have to wonder what's next with CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Hey, it's that weekend you've been waiting for, the big St. Patrick's holiday weekend at Janoski's today and tomorrow, and it's going to be happening until 6 o'clock. Their Shake the Shamrock event, specials, and they'll also have the Janoski annual garage sale for these 2 days only. Live music, lots of sampling, but again, specials, especially in the farm market. Janoski's Shake the Shamrock event today and tomorrow, underway from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the farm.
Having trouble keeping up with your electric bill? Duquesne Light Company can help customers manage costs through their Customer Assistance Program. Flexible payment plans, budget billing, rebates, and more. Duquesne Light realizes these are difficult times, and they are all committed to supporting our communities. Discover how you can save money and stay comfortable in your home year-round by visiting DuquesneLight.com/assistance. That's DuquesneLight.com/assistance.
Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Vitchoff of the PA Hypnosis Center is here to help you. He has helped train U.S. Olympic team members control their brains, stay relaxed, focused, and in control, giving them the edge for the gold. He's recognized by many organizations around the world as one of the top hypnotherapists anywhere. He has gotten over 3,000 people to give up cigarettes for good in the last 22 years. He's helped folks even who've tried gastric bypass to lose weight. He can help you and give you a 98% success guarantee. Call 724-934-8446. That's Dan Vitchoff, the PA Hypnosis Center. Mention KDKA and get $50 off any program. But call for a free consultation today, 724-934-8446. The PA Hypnosis Center with Dan Vitchoff. Make that call today, 724-934-8446.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 32 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Well, the high winds our area experienced on Friday had as many as 275,000 without power at some point Friday. Duquesne Light reported up to 162,000 of its customers without power at some point on Friday. West Penn Power said up to 138,000 of its customers were without power. Crews have been working around the clock to restore service in our area. Here are the latest numbers. Duquesne Light saying that there are 104,000 customers in Allegheny County still without power. That includes 65,000 inside the city of Pittsburgh. Beaver County has 13,000 of its Duquesne Light customers without power at this hour. First Energy, or rather West Penn Power, is reporting Still thousands without power in Allegheny County, around 9,000. Some 16,000 still without power in Washington County. About 18,000 without power in Westmoreland County. 13,000 without power in Butler County. Well, the winds caused a tree to fall into a home in Marshall Shadeland on Friday. No one was injured. An Advance Auto Parts sign fell into a vehicle in Brentwood. No one injured. A utility pole falling on a car in North for Sales with a man inside. He was able to get out only after the power to the utility pole was shut off. That man was not injured. Well, Pittsburgh Police Chief Jason Lando says the city is prepared for the big crowds expected across downtown and the South Side for today's St. Patrick's Day celebrations. Here's News Radio KDKA's David Ballarado.
Lando won't specify how many officers will be on the job for the parade in the afters.
I can tell you I'm going to be out walking the South Side with those officers tomorrow night because we know that's the area where we get some of the largest crowds. We will have plenty of visibility, plenty of officers out and about. We just prefer not to share numbers, just because if there is someone out there with some ill intent, we don't want them to know how many officers we have out there.
He says there are no specific threats to the region based on current events, but they are keeping an eye on things. And he also wants the public's help, too, reminding them if they see something to call 911. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
KDKA Radio News Time is 8:32. The AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Make 380 Auction of Murraysville your next stop for name brand furniture. Stop in and compare their quality and pricing. 380 Auction has name brand furniture for less. Before you buy, shop 380 and save on your next furniture purchase. 380 Auction is open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday noon to 5 p.m., or call 724-339-3132. That's 724-339-3132, or log on to shop380.com and save.
With multiple locations throughout the region, relief from peripheral neuropathy has never been more accessible. Tri-State Neuropathy Center's team of chiropractic physicians have successfully helped over 15,000 patients regain their comfort, mobility, and quality of life with Tri-State's effective treatment programs that utilize the most powerful technology available. No drugs, non-invasive, painless, and FDA approved. Dr. Sean Ritchie of Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is hosting free educational peripheral neuropathy seminars this month in Monroeville and Wexford.
Join us for a free peripheral neuropathy seminar and learn how our most advanced treatment program that has helped thousands can help you.
Reservations are required and seating is limited, so reserve your spot today. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000, or go to marydanston.com. Attend one of these free seminars and learn how neuropathy sufferers are getting relief. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
14 years in prison for killing a young woman. A 15-year sentence for a crash that caused 3 deaths. 12 and a half years for killing a child and critically injuring her mother. All true stories, all caused by marijuana-impaired drivers. No matter what you tell yourself, if you feel different, you drive different. So, if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Pittsburgh is on the clock. Our comprehensive draft coverage is powered by Bowser Chevrolet. It's more than just the players. It's the vibe of the city. Where to go? What to do? We have you covered. It's presented by Target Freight Management and brought to you by your local AAA travel office and by Groundworks, formerly Baker's Waterproofing. On the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Cooler conditions are in place, at least for the start of the weekend, with clouds building through the day and a high of 46. That leads to an overcast night tonight and a low of 39, with tomorrow looking cloudy as well, but windy and warmer with a high of 70, before showers and a heavy thunderstorm arrive for Monday after an early high of 63. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Secure Money Advisors.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Welcome back to On the Money with Secure Money. I'm your host, Brian Quaranta, and in studio with me is Neil Major. Rob Pratt is still out at the home show. Hope you're having a great day, Rob. Today we're talking about...
Can I direct the question to you?
Yeah, fire away, man.
Why is market volatility such a serious risk for retirees compared to younger investors is a question that we got.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty simple one. So, if you think about it, so if you get somebody in their 30 or 40s, market downturns are inconvenient, but they're very manageable because they still have decades to recover. They're putting money in, most likely into a 401k, so they're dollar cost averaging, or a 403b, or whatever it might be. And retirees, however, don't have the luxury of time in the same way. So if you think about your earlier years, let's just say from age 20 to age 60, time becomes your safety net, right? And then once you cross over 60, time is no longer your safety net, because that's typically when you're going to start to have to think about shifting into that distribution. So when someone retires and begins withdrawing income from their investments, losses early in retirement can have a very disproportionate impact on the sustainability of their portfolio. And this is what we talk about all the time. And when we show people this in the conference room and the educational events, it's a real moment for them. It's very sobering, and they get real clarity of what the problem is, and that's called sequence risk. Look it up, Google it, understand it. Nobody talks about it. It is a major risk. It's a mathematical risk you cannot remove from the portfolio. And if a retiree experiences significant losses in the first few years of retirement while also withdrawing money, the portfolio may never fully recover, even if markets eventually improve. And that's why retirement planning should involve structuring assets so that income needs can still be met with the markets and volatility. And look, we believe in the markets. We always have. We think they're a very, very big part of our planning process, but the right money needs to be in the right seat. And if you're running a company, the term is the right people in the right seats. And when it comes to retirement planning, it's the right money in the right seats.
Totally agree.
So let's talk about this, because we don't hide what we do for income. And I'm very proud about what we do for income. I've taken a strong stance on this since 2008. And, it's becoming more and more common for people to see it. But in 2008, when I was recommending annuities as a way to generate income, people were terrified because they thought it locked your money up. They thought they were high in fees. But that was because one of the biggest annuities being sold at the time was a variable annuity. So let me ask, Neil, how would you explain a variable annuity to folks?
Yeah, great question. And you're right. That used to be the direction of annuities sold, was variable annuities, and that has shifted. But a variable annuity, it's an insurance product that allows individuals to invest money into a portfolio of sub-accounts. They behave similarly to mutual funds.
Yep.
The value of the account rises and falls based on the performance of the underlying investments that sometimes include optional riders that can provide guarantees such as lifetime income or death benefits. However, they're also known for having high fees in comparison to other investments. And because of this, the value of the variable annuity depends heavily on how it's structured, what features it includes. I actually just ran into this week, Brian. I had a woman who, feels a little bit behind on her savings. She's recently gotten remarried. He's in a little better financial position than she, kind of went through a tough divorce. And one of the things that she had in her portfolio was a variable annuity that she's bought in the past 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, in my opinion, what it didn't have was any of those optional riders on it, because I would have actually liked to have seen maybe an income rider or something attached to it. So that way we knew.
By the way, when we say income rider, folks, just think private pension. That's all you're doing is you're getting yourself your own private pension that pays you every single month. And if you die, it pays your spouse every single month. And if your spouse dies, the remaining balance pays to your kids. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So this product actually had no income rider attached to it. So
what's the point of it then?
That's exactly what we said. Unfortunately, because we didn't want to, she felt, a little bit down on her luck with kind of where she was at and what had happened to her. And, when we looked into this account, all it was essentially was a mutual fund with a really, really high expense ratio. So the total fees of 2.3% with absolutely no riders or anything like that. So it's still going to go up in value and down in value based on how these sub-accounts perform, but no guarantees or predictability whatsoever. So unfortunately, it was just a really bad purchase because of you could do that more efficiently with a mutual fund or an ETF or stocks.
Right, because it had no guaranteed income benefit on it. So it's like, well, why are we putting in the annuity and incurring all these additional costs? I think it was 2009 or 2010 that I decided to create something called the Variable Annuity Escape. And the reason I created it is because when I would run across people with annuities, I would try to articulate to them, the challenges with these accounts. And I mean, there are probably 15 to 20 different moving parts that you need to know about. All the income riders are built differently and stuff. But the biggest thing was I want, everything we do at Secure Money Advisors, and I think why so many people choose us to help with them with their planning is the fact that everything is math-based with us, right? I don't want to give you my opinion. I don't. My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing that matters to you, the listener, to the client, is the facts. That's it. So what do you care about whether or not I think this stock is going to do X, Y, Z, or I think this mutual fund? None of that matters. What matters is the black and white facts that we have. Now, when it comes to variable annuities, there are some fundamentals that need to be looked at. Like, for example, what is your mortality expense ratio? By the way, these fees are all deep in the contracts, Neil, right? So your M&E charge, your admin charge, your income rider charge. Then on top of it, how does your income rider even work? Is it simple interest? Is it compounding interest? Is it joint income? Is it single life income? If the income value of the variable annuity goes to zero, does the income stop or continue? Because some of them stopped.
Well, Brian, I'll give you an example. I had a family member who had asked me to evaluate their retirement a few years back, and they had a variable annuity that was 20 years old, and the performance was really poor inside the variable annuity, only about 1% per year over 20 years. That's not real good. But the worst part about the contract, it did have a lifetime income benefit on it, but the worst part is it was single life. So he couldn't add his spouse to this product. And the challenge with that is if it's performed so poorly at only 1%, and now you're not getting joint life income out of it, she would still receive whatever's left in the account balance. But what's going to be left if he lives any length of time if it's not earning more than 1% per year?
I remember this is going a while back that the variable annuity companies were actually trying to buy people out of their income riders, right? And convince people to get rid of it, save on the fee. And here's why they were doing it. With a variable annuity, the actuaries can't really determine how to price that product because everything's based on that account value, which is at risk. So if you're in an income phase in a variable annuity, you're pulling money out, that account value is still at risk, even though they've contractually guaranteed the income. So the problem becomes if the market really, really takes a dive like it did in 2007, 2008, which is where they got in trouble, they were relying on paying the money back that was in the account value. Well, if there's no money in the account value, that means the insurance company needs to go into their pocket. And so they can't price it right. So what happened is variable annuity fees jumped from like 1.5% And on average, I bet you we see well over 3 to 4% in a variable.
Oftentimes close to 4.
Oftentimes close to 4. And by the way, that's not something we just like tell you. I mean, we actually call the company with you because, again, I want you to have the facts. So again, 412-286-1470. People are standing by to answer your call live, answer any questions you have about your particular financial situation. You can also schedule a complimentary retirement session with one of our team members. There's nothing ever sold at our office. We're there to truly help to see if we can put you in a better position. If we can't, we will shake your hands and let you know to keep doing what you are doing. Remember, go to righttrackpittsburgh.com where you can get a copy of my free book, Right Track Your Retirement. It's a guide. It's a roadmap. It will give you certainty and clarity on how to really build this whole retirement thing that we talk about every single weekend. So again, righttrackpittsburgh.com, and we'll be back with our last episode of today's show. We come right back with On the Money with Secure Money.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Suddenly it's spring. Discover everything for your home at the 44th Annual Pittsburgh Home and Garden Show now through Sunday, Convention Center downtown. Shop the region's most trusted marketplace with over 1,200 exhibits with everything for your home. Stroll through the fully furnished open concept model home by Buckhorn Showcase and explore the farm-to-table lifestyle. This weekend only, see HGTV celebrity and Emmy Award winner Ty Pennington. Visit pghhome.com for details. Don't miss the largest home event in America, the Pittsburgh Home and Garden Show now through Sunday, Convention Center downtown.
On Thursday, April 9th, join Center for Victims for our 50-year gala, Lighting Candles in the Darkness. It's an evening honoring hope, healing, and resilience. Reserve your ticket today. centerforvictims.org.
Crowded waiting rooms, 5 rushed minutes with the doctor. No real answers, just solutions that mask symptoms. For so many, that's what healthcare has become. In and out, no time, no connection. Just another appointment on the schedule. At Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, it's different. They take the time to listen, explain, and design a plan built around you. Because real relief starts with understanding what's really going on, not just treating the surface. From allergy testing to in-office sinus and nasal procedures, their experienced team uses the latest technology and a personal touch to help you breathe, sleep, and live better. Here, you're not just another number. You're the reason they do what they do. Discover a better way to feel better, one that's built around you. Pittsburgh Sinus Centers. Schedule a consultation today. Call Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, 878-231-4950. 878-231-4950. That's 878-231-4950.
Hey folks, my friends at NASCO Roofing take pride in exceeding customer expectations. Scott from Aspinwall was amazed at NASCO's quality, honesty, work ethic, and superior craftsmanship. Scott loved working with NASCO and appreciated that NASCO doesn't use high-pressure sales tactics like other companies. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Scott. Get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing, NASCO.
Think back to the last time you were in nature. What comes to mind? Hiking through a lush forest, floating on a lazy river, or perhaps watching a vibrant sunset on a beach full of glistening plastic bottles and food wrappers. Unfortunately, this isn't a joke. Here in the U.S., we generate the most plastic waste in the world, with 70% of it ending up in landfills. And by the time you're done listening to this ad, more than a dump truck's worth of plastic will have made it into the ocean. Plastic has become a useful part of our everyday lives, but it's polluting the air, water, and soil that all life needs to survive. This is a human problem that can be solved with human action. But it's going to take all of us, from individuals to businesses to governments and everyone in between. Help create a cleaner future for both people and nature. Visit wwf.earth/plastics.
After my accident, people warned me to slow down. I said, I don't know how. Thanks to my VA care team, I haven't.
At VA, we're using technology to help veterans recover faster and live their lives to the fullest. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov/PSA.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, welcome back to On the Money with Secure Money. I'm your host, Brian Quaranta. In studio with me is Neil Major, and we are talking about the 20 most common questions that we've gotten over the last year, and we're trying to hit them all, but I realized that I think there's about 40 questions. It's a short show to try to get 40
I feel like
questions.
we've gotten through two.
I know. So again, folks, if you want to find out about your situation, if there's something that you can do, or you want to schedule a complimentary retirement session, call 412-286-1470. Again, 412-286-1470. We got people answering the calls live today. To answer your questions, they can also get you a copy of my book, get you scheduled. But if you'd like, you can also go to righttrackpittsburgh.com and get a copy of my book absolutely free. Yes, it is free. I pay for the shipping and handling. Comes in a gold envelope. It's a fantastic read. I promise you, it literally will change your life. The information in there is all fact-based. It's a quick read, and it will give you a roadmap that you need to really have good conversations, even if you're working with an advisor, but more importantly, start to really map out what this thing looks like. Neil, we were talking about variable annuities on the last segment. I kind of want to continue. And I guess the most direct question I want to ask is, do you think variable annuities are good investments or bad investments?
Well, it's not that they're universally good or bad, right?
Yep.
There may be some tools that are appropriate depending on the situation, may not be appropriate. You know, if a variable annuity has a really good income rider on it and you're utilizing it to generate guaranteed lifetime income, I can be all for that. I've seen that before.
You just told me this week that you met some folks that had a variable annuity that you recommended keeping.
Believe it or not, I've seen two this week that had variable annuities that were really, really good.
Yep.
And they both moved forward to become clients, and I said that we were keeping those in place and going to utilize them to maximize the income benefit from them. So I liked them.
See, this is what I love about what we do, and I must pat myself on the back for training all you guys the right way, because at the end of the day, most firms are going to try to move that money and just flip it, right?
I've seen that before. I saw it probably 6 months ago with a guy who had a fixed index annuity with an income rider, was trying to get as much income as possible. And the account value was maybe like $100,000, but he had had it for a long, long time. And the income benefit was going to be like $14,000 a year.
Jesus.
And I go, this is incredible income. What do you think of this account? He goes, it's funny you say that because I've talked to two other firms who both said that we would sell that immediately.
See, that's why I say, folks, if you come in, our job is to look at everything and not have an opinion towards it. Look at the facts. If that requires calling companies, we call companies. But that gives you the peace of mind knowing that we're working together as a team. Last question, and then we got to wrap up for today's show. But what do you think the potential problems are with mutual funds?
Oh, my gosh. Where do I even begin? Because there's a few, and I had a busy week, obviously, because I saw some problems this week. One was yesterday. When you think about mutual funds, definitely can be useful investment vehicles, right? But one of the drawbacks is fees, right? And so yesterday, one of the questions they always ask us is, what are your fees? And I don't think, Brian, that people truly understand what all the fees are within their plan, right? So these people, high net worth, they were paying 0.8% fee to their advisor.
Okay,
right?
so that was the management fee.
Management fee, 0.8%. Now, the portfolio was built of a diversified strategy of different mutual funds.
Okay.
Their average mutual fund was 1.11%.
There you go. So a lot of hidden fees, a lot of stuff that you got to think about. This is why we offer you the opportunity to come in. Again, 412-286-1470. Call Luke. Other people standing by to answer your questions. Go to righttrackpittsburgh.com. Get a copy of a book. It's absolutely free. Thanks for listening this week. We'll see you again next week with another episode of On the Money with Secure Money. Neil, thanks for being here.
Yes, sir.
Folks, we'll see you again next week.
The proceeding was paid for by Secure Money Advisors. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program. Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations or its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion on performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Foundations does not provide legal or tax advice.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Stephanie Johnson is a licensed clinical psychologist. I could see people being very cynical and skeptical in the last few elections, the state of the economy, and all these things.
And what I see a lot is this all or nothing thinking. And it's either all my belief or nothing. That's not true.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
You shouldn't go anywhere without Sniper. Larry Richard with Andy Amrine from EV True Value Hardware.
Sniper, your hospital-grade disinfectant, kills all those germs, bacteria, viruses, mold, everything, Larry. Sniper, your hospital-grade disinfectant. You need it for your home, your office, your car, everywhere. Let's get those germs killed now.
Simply spray and walk away. Available at participating True Value Hardware stores or online at disinfectwithsniper.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Miss Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Mommy, how come I can't sit in the front seat?
Because I love you and you're just not ready yet.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 33 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Crews have been working all morning to restore power to affected communities in our area, of which there are still many. Duquesne Light's latest update as of about 5 minutes ago. Duquesne Light saying that 104,000 customers in Allegheny County still without power this morning. That includes about 65,000 people inside the city of Pittsburgh. Beaver County, 13,000 customers without power, according to Duquesne Light. West Penn Power says in Allegheny County, there's about 9,000 of its customers still without power. Butler County, 13,000 without power at this hour. In Washington County, 16,000 still without power. Westmoreland County, 18,000 still without power. Of course, those high winds on Friday caused a lot of trees to fall and power lines down. Well, just some notables. The winds caused a tree to fall on a home in Marshall Shaylin. No injuries were reported there. An Advanced Auto Parts sign fell onto a vehicle in Brentwood. No one was inside, no one injured. Utility pole fell on a car in North Versailles with a man inside the vehicle. He was able to get out only after the power was shut off to that pole, and he was not injured. Well, big crowds are expected for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which is 1 hour away from downtown, or from starting downtown. News Radio KDK's David Ballarado has more on how police are keeping it safe.
Police Chief Jason Lando says the Bureau is working behind the scenes to make the event safe with a higher concentration of officers planned for downtown, the South Side, and North Shore. He says intelligence analysts and detectives have found no specific threats for this parade.
But we also count on the community to be good partners. If you see something that doesn't feel right, if you see something that's suspicious, please say something, call 911, tell an officer that you see on one of the posts downtown, on the North Shore, on the South Side.
There will be QR codes as well to report minor problems, but
let's say someone puts down a suspicious package and walks away. That's a 911.
He won't say how many officers will be working the events. If there are any bad actors, that's information he doesn't want them to know. David Ballarado, News Radio KDKA.
KDKA Radio News Time is 9:03. Time to call Highwood Cemetery to ensure your family's gravesite